New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
I bet y'all wasn't expecting to see me, wasn't y'all? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Culler and a Cortadito. That's right. The cup of coffee turned into a little Cuban coffee. And what is up, everybody, Fin fans? Before we get into the topic, let's go through the rundown. We have Doobie Energy Drink. If you need a little pep in your step, you're working out, playing some video games like I do, use some no crash, no artificial flavors and all that good stuff. Then don't forget the flip-flops, beanies, the flag, which I'll be getting pretty soon, hoodies, t-shirts, all the cups. And as a matter of fact, those cups are really good. Get yourself a little powder. Get yourself some Doobie Energy Drink. You'll be good to go. And lastly, we have the rundown. El Capitan. He'll be giving you content here and there. Of course, Mr. Culler commentary with a cup of color, like just now. I'm being the substitute, me being the substitute that I am. Nighttime, early in the morning, anytime is good for a cup of color. We got Ali. Right now, late night with Excel with Ali is on hold until the preseason. I'll be filling in for that as well. And then we have DTA with the briefs and Lewis with the war room. I'll be joining in as well on that. And that's pretty much it. What is up, everybody? What is up? Culler will be here with us shortly. You know, he had a little setback. I'll let him explain. While we do this, let me give a shout out. Scott Jackson, first in the building. What is up? Liz, how are you? My man, Raphael Cartwright, how you doing? Aquavision, California in the building. Of course, I'm in there. What's going on? S. Harris, how you doing? 72 Dolphins. Clemente, what is up? Yes, late then early, early then late. Joe Rist. Mr. Ron Levy, what's going on, brother? Family in the member, familia. Clemente, Steve, U.S. Marine Corps. Jarvis, Eubanks. Mean Mantis. And let me see who else. Cesar Diaz. What is up, everybody? Yep, according to, let me take this down. So according to Tyreek Hill, says he's going to retire after his contract with Miami. That is interesting. Let me ask y'all this. Does that worry you at all, that maybe you think he's gonna slow it down, or you think he's gonna ramp it up the last two games and give us everything he has? Shout out to TD, by the way, saying that he's going to be a professional gamer, no cap. So you think he's going to give it his all until the last drop, last bell, whatever? What do you think what are your chances of him if he's in Kansas City and the game doesn't go as well as he hopes it will. Do you think he's going to turn on Tua, or he's just going to be mad at himself? That's just the question I'm bringing up. A lot of people speculate that he might turn on Tua if they're playing Kansas City and things aren't going as planned. I don't think he has that type of So you think that Jarvis Eubanks, you think he's going to speculation by a Tua hater? Who's a Tua hater, Aquavision? Who do you think is a Tua hater? Me? Okay, never mind. I'm gonna leave that. Whatever you guys got going on in the chat, that's between y'all. But the one thing I do know, I am looking forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to the Kansas City game. It's going to be in Kansas City. I hope it's going to be the Christmas game. That would be a good game. The Christmas game. But then again, oh my God, can you imagine a Christmas game in December? That would probably be like a Monday night game, if I'm not mistaken. This is interesting. It might be in Germany. Why in Germany? But anyway, enough about that. Do you think does anybody think that Tyreek Hill is going to get the 2,000 yards next year, or I think his yards. I don't think he might get as many yards as he did last year. I think they're going to be spreading the ball. What I'm hoping is they spread the ball a little bit more. 2,000 yards sounds like a good stat for Miami, but at the end of the day, I think they need to pass that ball around a little bit more. Because at the end of the day, if he has 2,000 yards and we don't even make the playoffs, that accomplishment doesn't mean nothing. Let me see. Let's look up the old stats for the Dolphins. And let's see where does anybody know off the top of the head before I look this up? Where did Tua rank? I mean, what kind of what? Yes, I agree with you, Todd. I think the Gators field is very beautiful. Thank you. I think it's very beautiful. Thank you very much. Let's see. Where did teams here? Okay, stats. I'm looking up the stats. Boom, boom, boom. Stats. Here we go. For receptions, receiving yards. All right. We look at Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill had 119 receptions, 1,700 yards, 14 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 1 fumble. 64 yards was the longest one he had. So he was pretty much 300 yards short of 2000. So maybe you are right, Ron Levy. I think had Tua maybe played, he would have easily gotten those 300 yards. But against who? You think he would have gotten those yards against the Jets? You think which team do you think he would have actually gotten those yards against? Because maybe Minnesota, he probably would have gotten those yards against Minnesota, but the Jets. Not trying to throw shade at Tua, but the Jets' defense didn't allow too many passing yards. What's up, Ron? What's up, Canes? Dolphin 89. So you think the Jets would have allowed Sauce Gardner, who was locking him down the last game of the year, he would have gotten it? No, I agree. I'm talking about Caesar. I'm talking about the games. He would have gotten the 300 yards. I would say the Vikings. I agree with the Vikings. The Vikings, he probably could have, because the secondary wasn't that good. So I think him and Tyreek Hill would have eaten that game. But the Jets, I could see the Jets maybe get between both games. If he would have played both games, I could see him getting 125 yards combined, and that probably would have added to the 300 yards that he needed. So, Mr. Miami 305, what's going on, man? I hope your boy Mace Taggart comes back. So let me ask y'all this. I'm going to be dropping the panel now because, like I said, this was last minute, so might as well just go ahead and open up the panel. I really have nothing to say. I have this Saturday. I do have a nice show planned for you. Let me see. God damn it. Yeah. I hope he's back. There is the link. Hop up whenever you're ready. But I think that you don't want me to give my 5 reasons? I think that's funny. I'll put it up. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put it up for, as soon as Culler gets here, I'll put it up for a poll. Again, it doesn't matter to me, one way or the other. I give my opinion. If you don't like it, nothing I could do about it, bro. Nothing I could do about it. I'm just going to say what I feel. That's what's up, bro. I appreciate you, man. I'm good with you. I'm good with everybody, bro. But listen, I understand where you're coming from, because at the end of the day, you feel like you're being browbeated with Tua. Like it's either him or you're a hater. But I mean, I guess everybody's entitled to their opinion. I know I am. And at the end of the day, yeah, it is. It's all love, bro. I got nothing but love for you, man. And all 35 people who are watching, I got nothing but love for you, man. Especially California over here. What's going on, California? And I got nothing but love for Mr. Scott Jackson, the biggest Tua fan in this chat. Am I right, Scott Jackson? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you ain't the biggest Tua fan in this building. How would you guys entertain Cam Newton to the Dolphins? I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, but would you entertain Cam Newton as a backup to the Dolphins? I hope there's a lot of no's in there. I really do hope there's a lot of no's in there, because holy crap. There you go. Joe raced. Scott Jackson is the original Tuaneer. I second that, California. No, please. Mr. Miami? Oh, hell no. Yep. By the way, Ben Nanu, I agree with you. I think that the signs are pointing to Lamar ain't coming to Miami. But at the end of the day, signs aren't showing that I'm going to win the lottery either. But I'm going to still try to play the lottery. Just because you ain't going to win the lottery doesn't mean, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, just because I think it's every fan's right to try to hope for Lamar Jackson, even though it's not going to happen. Just like with these mock drafts. That's the one thing I do not like, Aquavision. You know what? I think he'll be, not only will he be the NFL MVP, but he could be an XFL MVP. What do you think of that shit right there? Hell yeah. Fuck that. MVP of 2 fucking leagues. That's what I'm talking about, bro. 2 leagues. But it's like with these mock drafts, all right? I like mock drafts because you get to know the incoming rookies. You get to get a sense of who's who. So if you're playing fantasy football next year, you have an idea what kind of rookies to draft when you're doing your fantasy league. Or but at the end of the day, you could do all these mock drafts you want to. Doesn't mean you're gonna get the player that you mock to your team. Everybody wants this. God damn it! What the fuck is this guy's name? The running back from Alabama. Please help me out, please, somebody. Everybody wants the running back to Alabama. Doesn't mean the Dolphins are going to draft him. So I think that's the same thing with Lamar Jackson. You could want him on the Dolphins. Doesn't mean the team is gonna get him. So as far as Lamar Jackson coming to Miami Dolphins, I don't begrudge anybody who wants him on the team. It's just like mock drafts. you do have an idea. And by the way, thank you, Gibbs. You do have an idea where they're going to go, but it's not 100% certain. How many people thought that Minka Fitzpatrick was going to land to us? Or Laramie Tunsil? How many people had I remember when we picked up Christian Wilkins, everybody wanted Dwayne Haskins. Not everybody. There's a lot of people that wanted Dwayne Haskins on the roster. Oh, trust me. I know the feeling. I remember when Baker Mayfield was coming out of that draft, we had Ryan Tannehill. Everybody wanted Baker Mayfield. When we had Ryan Tannehill, every other year we wanted Lamar when we had Ryan Tannehill as well. So we should have drafted Lamar that year. No, we got Ryan. You know, a lot of fans were saying, well, the year we should have drafted Lamar Jackson. We had two sets of fans, just like it is right now. We have Tannehill. Oh, we need Lamar. He's an upgrade. No, we already have Tannehill. Let's give Tannehill a chance. No, we want Lamar Jackson. So you could say that's repeating itself over again too. Let's see what here. Shake, how could you say Tyreek Hill would have gotten over 2,000 receiving yards, average 100 game, not same? Good point. But hey, I didn't say he needed 300 yards. I put it this way, Scott Jackson. He needed 300 yards and Tua missed 5 games. So I think he could have at least gotten 300 with that. But that's something that all we could do is speculate. You're probably right. You hated Baker Mayfield from the start. What did you hate about Baker Mayfield, delusional Patriots fan? Shit. Let's welcome our first guest, Canes Dolphins. Trust the process. What's on your mind, Canes?
I just want to stop by and say what's up, and to you and everybody.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's on your mind?
No, none. Just here. So 4 and a playoff game. So that's yeah.
What's the topic?
No, whatever the hell you want to talk about. We're talking about how Tyreek Hill saying he's going to retire at the end of the contract. But how do you know that he's not going to get another a contract extension?
That's the thing, man. We don't know.
We're just speculating.
I mean, I can see it from his point of view because he has a family and he has kids, so understand that aspect. But like you said, who knows if he gets another contract with us? I mean, if we give him another few years, then where's his head gonna be at?
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
You trying to say he's already retiring in his mind?
No, what I'm saying is in the next 2 years, who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah, who knows what's gonna happen in the next few months?
That's the
let alone 2 years.
Boy, that's the damn truth. You got that right.
I'm a Dolphin fan. What is going on, brother? Much respect to you. Much respect. But
You
no,
know, and I
man.
saw.
Everybody wants the Lamar Jackson. You know, half of the fan base wants Lamar Jackson, half of the fan base wants Tua. At the end of the day, what they say, wishing in one hand, shit in the other.
Yep.
What's going on, Amicus? By the way, that was, if you missed Miss Finn's this morning, that was an interesting debate between Amicus and Michael K, to say the least.
What happened?
Oh no, they were arguing about Michael K thinks Josh Allen is overrated. And
No comment.
Mhm.
No comment. I don't want no smoke. No comment.
Kevin, well, we'll get another. Hey, no comment.
No comment. I don't want no smoke in that conversation. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take me out of that.
Yeah, your name is Bennett. You ain't in it.
Nope. Not today. I mean, I remember his days at Wyoming. He was pretty good up there.
Oh, here's another. By the way, Katako, who I guess changed his number to 4. If
Really?
anybody's interested, yeah.
Huh. Wow.
I guess the numbers are coming out.
If Josh,
Hey, Aquavision, much love, brother. All right. This is interesting. All right. In the chat, because I know a lot of people ain't want to come up here. If you could give me on a scale of 1 through 10, what do you think Josh Allen is on your scale?
I'd say a 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
Kane's 80. Yep. Kane 89 says a 7. CCRR, an 8.5. That's a fair rating. Lamar could run McDaniel's offense. California with a 7. AB with an 8. Aquavision with an 8. Caslin with a 6.5.
Damn, that's low.
Scott Jackson with a 9.
That's pretty high.
I mean, they gave people got to give. Here we go. 8.889. Kabash Maru. Tyler Brutal with a 7. So they pretty much respect Josh Allen.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah.
I wonder why the 6.5? What will make him a 7, Caslin, in your opinion? Oh, Joe Riss with a 6.9.
Damn. Well, a 6.9 is really a 7.
All right.
You're rounding up.
All right, go ahead. AB, right? AB. All right, what do you guys give Lamar Jackson then? If y'all want to rate Lamar Jackson, go ahead, rate Lamar Jackson then. Let's go, AB. We'll do your thing.
I'd say around the same thing.
Kazan, if Allen is a 9, then Mahomes and Herbert must be a 20. God damn. All right, here we go. Aquavision. All right, California with AB first to start off with the ratings. With 7. Yep. California with an 8. Aquavision gives them a 6.
I'll say
Cesar Diaz gives them an 8.8. CCRR gives them a 8.5.
I'll say
Scott Jackson
8.
gives him a 7.5, and Money Mitch gives him an 8.4. Oh, Delusional Patriot, Lamar gets an 8.
Yep, same here. I'll do that one 8.
Molly Mall, 8 for Allen, 7.5 for Jackson, 8 for Maru Cub,
That's tough.
and then Lamar gets a 6.5.
Damn, that's pretty low.
Joe Reese 3 points above Tua. Damn, shots fired. All right, who do you Tyler Bruder with a 7. Kaslam, who do you consider in your opinion a 10? If you don't mind me asking you, what quarterback do you consider a 10 or a 9? If that even exists, what's your highest rating of a quarterback, and who is it? Kaslam, if you don't mind me asking that.
I can answer that.
Well, what quarterback do you think he has it?
I say Mahomes is a 9.
If Herbert is an 8, then Allen has to be a 9.5 or better.
I don't see that.
Okay. You just listed all 3. So Mahomes, Burrow, and Herbert. Okay. Fair enough. My bad.
Who's the better quarterback?
2010 Tom Brady.
Oh yeah. There you go. Who's the better quarterback? Mahomes or Allen? Starting out.
What do you mean?
Like in the first couple of years.
Está loco. As obviously Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes had his second year. Right. He sat his first year. He came back, and then when he played his second year, he had a MVP season.
That's true too.
Delusional Preference gives Mahomes a 10.
That's too high.
Erica, oh shit. Eckler leaves. Herbert is a 6.
Damn, that's tough. Is that a trick question? Oh my god. That's fair.
32 watching. What's going on? Hit the like button. Mahomes is a. So let me ask y'all this.
What's up?
If Mahomes would have went to Buffalo Bills, and Josh Allen went to the Kansas City Chiefs, do you think that Andy Reid would have made Josh Allen a Super Bowl winner, or was that strictly a Mahomes thing? Because at the end of the day, well, here's the thing too. A lot of people don't realize. You know what? I'm starting to notice. Everybody, I was thinking today. A lot of people said that Drew Brees. Everybody wanted Drew Brees, whatever. But if you look at the 5 games he won with Teddy Bridgewater, won with. If you look at the 5 games that Teddy Bridgewater won with Sean Payton, and how Jameis Winston improved under Sean Payton, I think it was more Sean Payton than it was Drew Brees, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Sean Payton, he was a hell of a coach.
Here we go. Amicus. Chiefs would have won 4 straight Super Bowls had Josh Allen. Andrew never takes a Kansas City job with Crybaby Allen. No Mahomes. So yeah, delusional Patriots fan think that's Mahomes. That I mean, isn't it fair? Can it be fair that the fact that Andy Reid went to 4 national championships? I mean, not 4 NFC championships with Philly, and who was the quarterback at the time?
I think it was Wentz or Oh, what was the dude's name there? McNabb?
McNabb? Yeah, McNabb. That's who it was. Look how good he did with McNabb.
Yeah.
Nick Foles.
Nick
Yeah,
Foles
Donovan
was a good
McNabb.
quarterback too.
I mean, so let me see here. Let's see what's going on in the NFL real quick. While we wait for my man Culler or for somebody to get into the building. Jim Kelly way of more threat than Josh Allen.
That's tough.
Yeah. By the way, the Jets signed Boyle, Rodgers' ex backup in Green Bay. That's fun, right? So they replaced.
He probably thinks
Hey, Michael K.
Rodgers might go there.
Let me welcome Caslin. What's going on, Caslin? What's on your mind, brother?
What's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Caslin?
You know how it is.
It's easier this way than typing.
Yeah, for sure. So you think it was more Mahomes than Andy Reid or
no?
That
I think they're both. I think they're both a match made in heaven. I mean, Andy Reid puts Mahomes in a situation where he can succeed at, and Mahomes can operate Andy Reid's offense to highest level ability. If Josh Allen was in there, could he do really well? Yeah, Josh Allen's not a bad quarterback. Matter of fact, I think the Bills rely on him too much. I think he's too much of a focal point in that offense. I think they need to give him more weapons.
Yeah,
but let's not mistaken. If McDermott and what was his name? He's the Giants head coach now. If they weren't there and he got drafted by, let's say, the Browns, Allen wouldn't be close to being anywhere close to being where he is.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think he'd be as good a quarterback at all. But is he a top 10? Yeah, not even close. It's not even a debate. But I would never give him a 9. He's nowhere near Patrick Mahomes. No quarterback in the NFL is near Patrick Mahomes. He's on a tier by himself.
Well, if you look at the 90s, right, and you look at the Dolphins and the Bills, right, and one thing I always point out that if you compare the two teams, Jim Kelly is nowhere near the talent as Marino, but what gave Kelly the advantage was the overall team was better. Like you said, they were doing to Marino what they're doing to Josh Allen. They put it too much on Dan Marino instead of a team. It was Marino versus the Buffalo Bills. If we're being honest,
right? But Buffalo had a running game. Marino didn't have one. They tried giving him one because the fans were outraged in the 90s, and they went out and drafted Sammy Smith with a high draft pick who was supposed to come in and.
I'm sorry, you broke up Marino, the last part.
To get him over the hump.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm driving. I'm in,
That's all good.
I'm driving, so sometimes I might kind of. They went out and drafted Sammy Smith, and to try to help Marino get over the hump, to bring him to get him past the AFC Championship game, because Kelly had a running game. Even Elway didn't really have a running game until they got Davis, So even Elway was struggling the same way as Marino was until they gave him a running game. So they tried doing that with Marino, with Sammy Smith. And he came in, and he was good for a little bit, and then he started fumbling. I remember him fumbling 4 times in the end zone against San Diego. And the AFC, it was either an AFC divisional game or AFC championship game. I think San Diego went on to the Super Bowl again. I think it was against the 49ers. And Miami would have won that game if Sammy Smith didn't fumble all those times. But so they tried to help him out that way, and it didn't work. And then Sammy Smith got hurt, and we'd never hear from him again, and they never gave him another one. He's always had good receivers or decent receivers.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of this? Marino pushed back when Jimmy Johnson tried to give him a running game.
Because they tried it before that. They tried it with Culler, and it didn't work. Like I said, with the Sammy Smith, and so Jimmy Johnson, I think he's still probably the second best coach we've ever had here. I mean, Bill Parcells is another one that was always good, obviously, but Dave Wanstead is probably the worst coach in my opinion, besides Nick Saban.
Yeah. Well, Bill Parcells is more of a GM than he was
a coach.
Yeah, coach. What's up, Miss Fins?
Hi, Miss Fins.
How you doing?
I don't like a lot of the mobile quarterbacks anyway, so that's never been my. I like the pocket passes.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you? All right, let me ask you this: you're not a big supporter of Tua, correct?
I don't hate the kid. I mean, I think he's a good kid, but I just,
of course,
I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think there's a lot of things that he misses, and a lot of his inefficiencies is what is going to hold him back. I've been saying for the last couple of weeks since the season ended that I think, yeah, we have Fangio came in and he's going to make our defense better, but I also see all of the other improvements around the league. All these other teams are getting better too, and they have 1 full year on the McDaniel system, and they're going to know how he plays. I mean, just look at the San Francisco game and San Diego game.
Hold up, Caslin.
What's going on, Todd?
How can you put Wanstead behind Cam Cameron?
Because Wanstead went to go bench Marino, and he stopped. He wanted to stop Marino. He wanted Marino to retire.
Cam Cameron, a 1-15 season.
Yeah,
Camarillo was our saving grace that year.
Yeah, he was.
No, Wanstead at least knew to run Ricky. Hey, Wanstead, at least he knew to run Ricky Williams.
Yeah,
run Ricky, run.
I don't like Wanstead. Just never did. Never.
I didn't like him either, but I can't put him behind Cam Cameron. I can't do it.
Well,
when your head coach says, when his famous saying is "fail forward fast," that's kind of like you're screwed.
Well, and also I think he was the last coach since Jimmy Johnson to have 11 wins for the Dolphins.
Well, no, you got Sperano, who I liked.
Sperano was good. I like Sperano too.
All right, but you also have to remember there was a guy we got from Green Bay, Philbin. Who also was garbage.
Joe Philbin.
Yeah, he was garbage too.
Damn.
Then we got Space Case Gase.
And it's funny because Gase, I think at first, when they were all in on him, I think he was okay. I mean, just look at his record. He did a lot better with a lot worse. And then they kind of didn't support him as much or whatever in the drafts that he wanted players, and they didn't give it to him or during free agency. And I think that's what hurt Gase.
Bringing in Jay Cutler.
Yeah, what a waste of money that was.
I don't know what Cutler's problem was or why Cutler did what he did, but that wasn't the Cutler I remember watching it in Denver when he played.
No, but Cutler didn't give it. He got to the point he didn't give a damn.
Yeah, he didn't play like he should have.
Yeah, they
He
caught him.
stole money.
They pretty much basically called him out of retirement.
He wasn't a bad quarterback. He wasn't like the greatest quarterback, but he did things okay. Could he get you to a point? Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know why.
You all remember the Wildcat with him?
Yeah.
When they showed the picture of him standing there, not moving off the line of scrimmage when everybody else starts running.
Yeah, like
hey, he did what the coach told him to do.
I think there's a lot of problems with the when you got these highly ranked quarterbacks coming out of college too, and you get they go to these teams that just can't develop or push them further. And I think that's happened with a couple of our quarterbacks in the Dolphins.
By the way, Shake Money, I got some breaking news.
What's up?
The Gators still suck.
Damn.
What'd you say? The Canes suck what?
Damn.
The Gators still suck.
Okay, the Canes suck. I got you. I already knew that news already.
Damn. Ouch.
Oh,
that's something I already knew. Yeah, I got you.
Sheesh.
Who do you guys think out of this draft right now? Out of the quarterbacks that are in this draft, who do you think is going to be the sleeper?
Honestly, the sleeper's going to be from Kentucky, I think.
Levis? No. Levis has too many problems.
Hey, listen, you can't knock a guy who
Anthony Richardson has to wait a year or two. I think he has to sit like Jordan Love did.
I think he has to sit.
You can't knock a guy. You can't knock a guy who puts mayonnaise in his coffee, man.
Damn.
He has to. He's gonna have to sit a lot. I'm a FU fan, and I don't think Richardson's as good as everybody thinks he is too. I think he's another one that's gonna be just a mediocre.
I think he could be very good, but I think he's gonna have to sit.
Yeah.
I think he needs his time.
He has a huge upside. So does Levis, but I don't think either of them are going to even sniff that.
So, Caslin, you're a Gator fan?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. See, I know there's some reason I like.
But Caslin. But to be honest with you, if I needed a quarterback, I'm not getting it from the draft this year. I'm waiting until next year. I'll stockpile picks.
Well, there's four. I say there's 5 coming out next year, but. Again, that's depends on you have people, and it's funny. Like, I like Sam Howell. I love Sam Howell coming out this year, and everybody's like, and he ended up falling way too far in the draft, and everybody's so in love with what is that, Mays, and he plays in the same system, and he's pretty much the same quarterback as Howell was, just a little bit better stats for the first year. It's like,
oh no,
dude,
I like the guy from SC.
Oh well, everybody loves him.
Hey, I would be trading my first round pick this year if I needed a quarterback, trying to get another first rounder for next year from somebody who needed just a stockpile.
Yeah, you're gonna need more than that. If you don't have the first pick in this next year's draft, I mean, we offered 3 first round picks for that first pick and the Burrow draft. With Tua.
The only reason the Bengals kept that was because he was a hometown kid, and they would have caught hell if they traded him.
And it was Burrow. So,
I'm saying they're a notoriously cheap organization. The only reason I think they really wanted to they would have had no fans. All their fans, man, you're letting the hometown kid go somewhere else, and you have the number 1 pick. Oh. They would have caught hell like there would have been no tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good point, Todd.
I still would have. As good as Burrow is, I still would have drafted Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert's really good, for 3 quarters. Then he's Mr. Pick 6 in the 4th.
Damn.
This is his worst year, and he still put up better numbers than Tua did.
What were his numbers this year?
He had 25 touchdowns, and I think like 12 or 13 interceptions. But he still threw for over 4,000 yards.
How many games?
15, because he was out 2 games. And he played all year with a rib injury.
Right, hold up. Now remember what you just said. 15 games. What were two his numbers? Almost 4,000. And now, mind you, in 13 games, he had 25 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
Okay, so you're talking about Tua's best year. Let me put Herbert's best year. How about 38 touchdowns and 11 interceptions and over 5,000 yards passing? Tua will never sniff that in his life.
But that was playing. I'm telling you, Herbert, you're saying his numbers this year were much better. No, they weren't.
No, I said this was his worst year, and he had he had more injuries on offense than Tua ever did. He played well all of his stop receivers. I think they were on the field once at the end of the season.
Oh Lord, he's pulling up the stats.
And again, these are the same people who say, "Oh,
honestly, out of all the quarterbacks drafted that year, I am the most impressed by Burrow. I mean,
why talk about it when you can look for yourself?
Herbert is.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey,
Culler.
We got
Culler, it's a little late for coffee, though.
Oh, it's never too late. Coffee, man.
Herbert has like.
We're in Florida. We drink it.
Number one stats in all categories, right?
I'm all over myself.
What's up, Todd?
Spilling the ambrosia all over myself.
Be careful.
It's liquid ambrosia. So here we go. Joe Burrow, 4,475 yards in 16 games, 12-4 record. Tua, 8-5 record, 13 games, 3,548 yards. So about 1,000 less in 3 games less. So you figure average 300 yards a game. If that'd be 900 yards. So he'd still fall short. Completion percentage, Joe Burrow, 68.3.
No, hey, hold on. We weren't comparing Burrow. Culler, he was comparing him to Herbert.
Oh, Herbert. I thought he was comparing.
No, it was
Herbert had 4,739 yards in 17 games, 68.2 completion percentage to a 64.8.
And this was Herbert's worst year, and he had the least amount of weapons on the field all year.
Touchdown percentage. Tua shines there. He's second in the league at 6.3. Actually tied for first at 6.3. Where's Herbert? Down at 21st at 3.6. So that's, touchdowns per 100 throws.
Right. But again, without Allen, without Williams, and without Eckler most of the season.
Then you got interception percentage. And you got Tua at 2.0, Herbert at where's Herbert? Herbert's at 1.4.
Like I said, this was Tua's best year, and I find it funny that his numbers are great, and then they look at a guy like Derek Carr, this was Derek Carr's worst year. Oh, he's trash.
I get it.
But their numbers are very close.
I get it.
Hey, I don't think Derek Carr's ever been trash.
No, I just find it funny because they love trashing every quarterback that isn't named Tua.
Hey, I don't mind Derek Carr, and I still to this day, the Texans screwed his brother. His brother was talented as hell, and they gave him no O-line. They let him get beat to hell to the point he was almost shell-shocked.
Well, as I said, I think Derek's gonna have an amazing year in New Orleans. They have a good defense, something he's never had in Las Vegas, and he was handcuffed in Las Vegas, especially this year.
So, again, I want to say hi to everybody. Good afternoon. Sorry it took me a minute to get here. I was
No excuses.
I've been in quite a bit of pain today trying to mitigate it, but
I see you wore the jersey, Cutler.
Oh yeah, Kenna. I was telling, I think it was Russell yesterday. I told him I was going to wear my Clay jersey today.
Yeah, I was there when you said it.
There it is. Only
Hey,
one I've ever purchased. Charles
What's up,
Clay.
Kenna? How you doing?
What's up, Shay?
Man
What's
himself.
What's up, Kenna?
What up, Kane?
So I do want to
What's up,
thank everybody
Todd?
for coming out, for helping out Shake,
What's going on?
keeping it
What's
going.
up,
And I
Anthony?
want to encourage everybody to like and share, subscribe if you haven't, hit the notification bell so you know when my spotty ass goes live. And appreciate every one of you for being here. I see a few of the regulars in chat. Aqua, Batman's Pop, CCRR. I'm sure Scott's in there somewhere. Joe Riz, Delusional, you know, all of them. We got Big Nick showing up now. Kenna in the panel. Jermaine's in the chat. I think Jermaine might be our newest member. Appreciate that, Jermaine. Dolphins for life. Yep, there's Scott. Oh, Michael K's in there. Interesting. Guys, go check out Miss Finn's show from this morning. It was epic. She actually had Michael K and Amicus
Going at it.
in a battle royale debate over whether Josh Allen is mediocre or not.
A Buffalo
if you
Bill
weren't-
argument
if you
on a
didn't
Dolphin
know-
fan.
Color, you know what I call Amicus and Michael K.
What's that?
Dumb and Dumber.
Well, I don't know,
Watch
man.
it.
Michael K was making some fair points, and Amicus was having a heart attack. If you didn't know they were Buffalo fans, you would think Amicus was a two-and-ear, and Michael K was a two-a-hater. It's funny. You guys really ought to go check it out. It's a good allegory.
Well, why do you think I said I would definitely troll their show if they had a show together, because there would be so much fighting. I'd be laughing my ass off.
Yeah, it
I
was
don't know.
pretty good.
Scott Jackson gave Allen the highest rating out of everybody. He gave him a 9 out of 10. So
Wow. JR Black, how you doing? Philo, how you doing? Let's see who else is up in here. A few people. Miami Dolphins for life, who's different from Dolphins for life. They're two different people, but both equally great fans. California, see California. He don't mind when I go late because it's morning half the time there anyway. So, sip of coffee to California and all our friends on the West Coast who never wake up. Let's see. I think that'll be all right, unless I go way back. But if I missed you, welcome to Coffee and a Cup of Color. Hope you're enjoying your cup of color. I'm enjoying my cup of coffee. It's once again McCafe in the Keurig machine.
Coffee in the afternoon make me think you got some extra in there. Cutler.
And Kaz, you talk. People forget. I get in arguments with Dolphins fans saying that Derek Carr is trash, forgetting the fact that the guy barely had any defenses his whole career. With the coaches there refused to build defenses for him and stuff like that. So let's
Well,
not
you know,
act like the team
that
is,
list I just pulled up
it's
just
Derek
now.
Carr's fault.
You know, Derek Carr finished like 5th on that list last year. Not this year that just passed, the year before.
Right.
So he did fall off, but I mean, he was up in the top 10 of quarterbacks.
Hey, Derek Carr moved the ball though.
Yeah,
a year and a half
Derek Carr
ago,
moves
but-
the ball, but people blame him for the lack of success. I understand why you do it with the quarterback, but we forget the fact, as football fans in general, we forget the fact football is a team sport and stuff like that, and we blame one position for the lack of success of the team overall.
Well, hold on before you take off with that. You got to understand, certain players make the team and certain players don't.
right,
Like,
Yeah,
you
and
got players
look,
for a
when the
reason.
game
running
is on
running
the
a
line,
cruise ship is a team sport too. But it don't take it's not the team that crashed it into an iceberg.
Exactly.
So
Right,
can I get in, Color? Can I
Go
get
ahead,
in?
Big Nick. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks, guys. Hands up. Thanks for having me.
What's going on, Big Nick?
Everything cool, man. So one of the biggest pet peeves I have is when people use a blanket statement, Dolphin fans, right? I believe there's people. I know a lot of people that is a Miami Dolphin fan, but doesn't follow anything about about the Dolphins, let alone the NFL, right?
Oh, you mean some of the people that there's fans in this fan
no, I
base
mean people
that'll say they're casuals.
No, I mean people that say they're Dolphin fans, but they ask you who won the game. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, Big Nick, there's 20,000 of those in the stadium every weekend.
Well, but that's still less than 1%, right? That's less than 0.5%
right,
of
right.
Dolphin. And the second thing is a true Dolphin fan. I've never heard outside of anywhere that Derek Carr is trash. I don't think anyone has ever said that. People always believe Derek Carr has been a good quarterback. He just finished second or third 2 years ago in MVP racing.
Sure.
So I don't think I've heard any knowledgeable fans say Derek Carr is trash. However, if Derek Carr and Tua Tagovailoa last year had similar numbers, that is also misleading because which one of the two statistical numbers had a real impact on the team. So just because both had this stat that was really close, who had the impact? That's what separates players. Who brings the impact and who stuffed the stat sheet. So,
all right, but so going by that too, you can. I see where you're going with that too. But what quarterback in the NFL is ranked number one among active quarterbacks in the fourth quarter for fourth quarter comebacks? Do you know that answer?
That's not a real positive quarterback sign, though, right?
Right. Yeah, it is.
Quarterback stat.
Oh, yeah, it is because if you're
down and you come back, that's a positive thing.
I would say a percentage would be where you'd want to look. Like, what's your percentage? If you have a high percentage, that's a positive thing, but not necessarily positive if you have a large quantity of them.
Right. If you got 10 comebacks, if you got 10 comebacks in a 17-game season, I'm not going to give you kudos.
No, and Nick, but could I actually push back a little bit? It's when a guy like Derek Carr, we criticize him for having some I'm talking about football fans in general criticize him for having so many fourth quarter comebacks, remembering that they forget that his defenses were horrible. The majority of his defenses were ranked in the bottom of the league in majority of the stats his whole career with
he's never had above a 20 ranked defense.
Players get sent to just so they won't have a good career. Like
who's the longest tenured quarterback in that division? Who's the longest tenured quarterback in that division?
The left,
Derek Carr.
And how many division championships did Derek Carr have?
I mean, but he took the Raiders to another.
So you can make excuses after excuses all you want, but he has not. I mean, it's a reason why they just blessed this man with $45 million, a year, and then they decided to get rid of him.
But they're a dominant team.
Yeah, but you got to understand how many coaches, how many offensive coordinators. He's been in the league 9 years. He's had 6 different head coaches and 9 different offensive coordinators. How do you expect this guy to be able to succeed year after year? And he still does it.
So in wrestling, right? Cody Rhodes said a great line to Roman Reigns, right? Cody Rhodes said their multi-million-dollar 10-year investment only started to show up in year 8. So it's perhaps Derek Carr, who definitely was an ugly duckling up until about year 5, year 6, could have cost some of those coaches their jobs.
But is there proof that it was his fault they lost their jobs? Maybe
is there proof
their mismanagement that cost them their jobs.
Look.
Well, again, if he's
because you put lipstick on it,
it's proof of everything. Are you willing to look at the right evidence?
Yeah, but again, he's come back more times than any other quarterback in the NFL in fourth quarter comebacks. So when the game is on the line, I can trust that this guy is going to get me what I need him to get me because
in that same period of time, how many fourth quarter comebacks have Patrick Mahomes had? How many fourth quarter comebacks did Tom Brady have? How many fourth quarter comebacks did Aaron Rodgers have? Like
Aaron Rodgers isn't even that.
You know, we used to praise Ryan Tannehill for having fourth quarter comebacks. How about that?
Yeah, but
we used to praise
we're
Dan
talking
Marino too. We used to
9
praise Dan
years.
Marino as well, but it's not
9 years.
It's
That's
not the stat that quarterback holds up. It's not.
He's got 28.
It's not a stat that's held in high regard as far as the other.
Wait a minute. I would actually push when people talk about Dan Marino, they say he had a lot of fourth quarter comebacks throughout his career. So
he did,
and he's a Hall of Famer. So when you look, they talk about the Hall of Fame quarterbacks. They look at their performance in the fourth quarter in critical moments. What are you talking about, Nick?
One major thing.
A performance in the fourth quarter and a fourth quarter comeback can be two different things.
Y'all forgetting one major thing. The rules are completely different from now compared to back then. Completely different. So y'all, is a lot of narratives is really thrown out the window just because the rules have changed.
Yep. Fourth quarter comeback back in the day could have been we were down by 14 all day. You know what I mean? I mean, that's nothing today. That's like not even really a comeback.
Look at that.
And if the league truly held that in high regard, they damn sure do a terrible job of promoting it because they know people would only want to come to the game in the fourth quarter.
So but look at this.
So that's not a stat. That's not a stat that these people are wearing with a real badge of honor. We're the ones that's really tripping over that.
No, there's a lot of
it's
experts.
It's a good trait to have, but I'm like thinking quantity wise ain't a good thing either. But it is a good trait to be able to do it.
Yeah, but
hey, by the way, Culler, is that a Charles Clay jersey?
Yeah,
that's a Pendulum jersey, man.
What jersey?
You got
the one you're wearing.
The one I'm wearing is Charles Clay, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Yeah, Charles Clay. Yeah.
I say it's Pendulum.
But
well,
again,
now it might be Fedulum, but you got to pronounce his name right.
I said this earlier too. Is a lot of these quarterbacks that drafted in these systems that just don't work, and these good quarterbacks that never
because man they too
amount to anything.
Like a lot of coaches are too stuck on the fact that if a quarterback fits your system, that's what they gonna run with. If I can win with them, that's what I'm gonna run with. You know, sometimes that's not a good idea. It's all come down to getting the best athlete. You got to get the best player because when you put that player on the field in certain dynamics and situations happen that a player that you can just win with is not going to get you out of.
Right, but you're just talking about separating elite coaches from regular coaches too. Like Andy Reid.
So everybody, hold on. Everybody, welcome Lewis real quick. The man is in a place where he could be looking at fine ass Bahamian women. Instead, he comes and looks at my mug.
Nothing comes before the Dolphins, man. I keep telling you guys.
Good,
it's family country Dolphins. We keep telling you that family country Dolphins.
But you have these elite coaches like Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, you know, and they can get the best out of their players. Look what Andy Reid's done with quarterbacks over
Tony
his career.
Dungy. Would you consider Dungy a elite coach, or would you consider?
I think he was a good coach. Yeah, I mean, like Wade Phillips.
Tony Dungy's a Hall of Fame elite coach. What do you mean?
Yeah, he's always had good.
The
guy from
Brad Johnson was not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
What was his name? Bill Cowher. There's another one who's always,
he didn't show his worth to what, year 5, year 6.
Hey, to be fair, Brad Johnson was the Chucky's pick. He brought Brad Johnson there.
You guys got to give credit to,
but that was Tony Dungy's defense.
The late great Marv Levy.
Yeah,
so,
people
still alive.
See, you guys got to remember, man. The number one draft pick of every year of the NFL draft has never been a consistent number one overall consistency. I mean, the everybody's, I can't talk right now. Everybody's number one draft choice. Just because he's the number one draft choice for the Chicago Bears, don't mean that person would have been a number one draft choice for the Detroit Lions.
And
You know, so
what I was
Right.
pointing out.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was pointing out.
consistent.
And,
That makes sense.
and you know what's funny? You know what's funny? In Super Bowl 50, this was Super Bowl 50. Cam Newton and Peyton Manning were the first time in the 50 years of Super Bowl history that two number one overall selected quarterbacks played each other.
They didn't play each other.
They play,
You
Cam-
also gotta
Super
Bowl
also
50.
credit.
You're right.
You
Super
gotta
Bowl
credit
50.
Tom Coughlin.
It was Denver
sorry,
versus.
Tell me,
Not
tell me
only
guys,
not only
whenever you
did
guys-
Tom Coughlin take a wild card team and won a Super Bowl, but let's not forget who that was against.
Isn't it weird that
The
you guys, when you
Patriots.
talk about an old Super Bowl, that the Patriots isn't mentioned? So whenever somebody talk about an old Super Bowl, I automatically mention, I think about the Patriots was in that Super Bowl. So that's why I say it wasn't them. Yeah, it was.
Where? Hey, Nick, I have a question for
Hey,
you.
can I throw Anthony before
Really
you get
talk
to this
about the
question?
Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Anthony, before you get to the question, real quick, can I throw something out in the atmosphere real quick? Because
As
again,
long as it don't stink.
well, Culler, I'm not gonna. I don't think it'll stink from people like me and you, but for the people that will work with feelings in this fan base and always forget to put the
It's
logo.
a big old fart for them, ain't it? Yeah.
It's gonna be a big old fart, right? The people that put
My feelings.
players' names and stuff over the logo, this is probably going to hurt a little bit. I'm just trying to warn everybody right now because, again, I've been one of the people, and I'm not the only one. I've been one of several that have said, don't be surprised if Christian Wilkins is not part of this team anymore. And through back channels and some rumblings.
Blasphemy.
And hold on, before everybody starts jumping down my throat, I'm just trying to warn people that through back channels and stuff, and I'm not saying I'm 100% correct. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just trying to put it in the atmosphere to let some of the fans know. It is a very strong possibility that
strong.
Christian Wilkins,
Not strong.
you could say, Big Nick,
Not
you
strong.
can say that if you want to.
Let the man
You can-
finish. Let the man finish. Go ahead.
You can
Go ahead,
say
Lewis.
that if you want to, Big Nick. The fact of the matter is, it is a very strong possibility that Christian Wilkins is not in the long-term plans of the Miami Dolphins.
If Tyreek
Whether you're
Hill is really
whether you're
Hey.
feeling hurt or not.
that's gonna be
Remind me at the end of this show to put out my P.O. box for the I'm sorry letters because I told everybody this
I agree,
months
Ali.
and months
You
ago.
did.
Months
You did.
ago, I said this was going to happen.
So now, I don't have sources, right? I don't. I would never sit up here and say I have sources. But I do know people that I know, right? Like I know Troy Drayton personally. I can call Troy Drayton. I moved his house. He still works for the Dolphin organization, right? From what I'm hearing, not necessarily from Troy Drayton, just by people that's close to a situation, the only possibility of Christian Wilkins not remaining long-term with the Miami Dolphins is somebody bring us a Larry Tussle deal. That's it.
Well, I'm just gonna tell you something, Big Nick, and again, you can take it for what it is. You don't got to believe me. I'm not even asking you to believe me. What I'm telling you is, you're looking at a situation where you have two players coming up for contracts that are looking for contracts, right? One is in the factor of looking for 17 to 18 million. Another one, you're looking at 10 to 11. And in a business, right? You're always going to try to find, and this is just in life. It doesn't matter the NFL. This is in business. If you can find an option that, again, I'm not saying Siler is going to give you the same level of production that Christian Wilkins is going to give you. But what I'm telling you is that the drop-off is not as significant as everybody thinks. And if you think that the Miami Dolphins...
They did it already, Lewis. I'm sorry, Lewis. They already compared the two.
But again, you cannot compare the two, Big Nick, because Siler doesn't. Besides this year, Siler wasn't getting none of the snap counts that Wilkins was getting.
That's not true.
No. It is true. This year,
I can send you a link, Lewis. Lewis, I can send you several links.
Big Nick,
y'all making work for me. Y'all gotta make work for me for us.
Let me ask you guys something. Let me ask you guys something real quick.
Hold on, Ali. I was sitting here minding my own business, and they start talking stats, and I'm like, oh, damn it! Now I gotta do work, man.
I guarantee you the drop off is not that much. I'm telling you now, the drop off.
It's really not that much. But here's the reality. Who would you rather pay, Waddle or Wilkins?
Wilkins.
You're paying Wilkins over Waddle.
It's not even close. Waddle is not
You don't have to. What are you talking about?
Because I'm going to tell you right now, you can't pay both, bro. You cannot pay both. I'm telling you right now.
The show host says Wilkins.
That's not true, man. Do you guys understand? Do you guys understand 2025 how many people are under contract and how much salary, even when we pay these guys, how much salary cap space we're gonna have in 2025? Do you guys understand that?
Man,
how much? But how much?
Over $130 million.
Okay, over 130. You're absolutely right, Big Nick. 130. Now let's just do an exercise, Big Nick. Right? Let's say Waddle, for the sake of argument, wants close upwards of $30 million a year. It's the same thing what all the receivers are getting. The top #1 receivers. Let's just assume that's what Waddle wants. There's $30 million against the cap right there. Let's say Jalen Phillips keeps progressing like we all believe he is, right? A top defensive end in this league is in the excess of over 20+ million. There's 50 right there. Here's the kicker, Big Nick. Let's say your beloved Tua Tagovailoa starts balling out and succeeding. That's going to be at least.
Hold on, wait. Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you. Let me stop you.
Hold on.
No, I take offense when you say that. I take offense when you say that, Lewis. Lewis, I take offense when you say that because Darren Smythe is also my beloved. Darren Smythe is my beloved Darren Smythe.
I didn't mean Big Nick. I didn't mean your beloved. I'm saying our beloved. Okay, is that better? Our beloved Tua. If you pay Tua,
Darren Smythe should be there as well.
Big Nick. But what I'm saying is, again, you're getting off point because you don't want to hear the facts of the matter. You're talking about all this money. We already mentioned 2 players at that's $50 million.
And don't forget Javon Holland.
And again, Anthony, there you go. If Tua, let's say, gets another 40, you're already at 90. And Javon Holland, what do you think? You're Javon Holland signing here for peanuts? Bro, you cannot have all these pieces under a league that has a salary cap.
Okay,
and there's one variable that you haven't brought up yet, Lewis. I don't mean to interrupt you, but there's one variable that's really important. Every year, somebody gets paid that resets the market completely.
1,000%. Ali.
Now, can I rebut? I'm a master rebutter. I'm a master of a lot of butts, but rebuttal is one of my things.
Go ahead, Big Nick. You got it.
So next year, which will be 2024, Tua Tagovailoa gets an extension, right? Also, Christian Wilkins will have his extension, right? Right? So these guys will all be signed on 2025, which is going to leave us, after all of that, we're going to have less than 20 people on contract, right? And that's a high number. Less than 20 people are going to be on the contract 2025. Your main 2 people that you're at right now are already going to be signed. Once you factor in that, we're going to have $130 million available cap space. Yeah. Our window, we have been all of it. That's not wrong. Christian Wilkins, hold on, wait. I gave you your time. Give me my time. If Christian Wilkins signed his contract right now today, his salary cap for next year is going to be around $5 million.
Why do you think that he hasn't signed a contract? If that's the case, Big Nick,
because we don't have the money yet.
He doesn't. You don't think again, bro? Read between the lines, Big Nick.
He's going to be signed after June 1st. We don't have the money.
Big Nick, you know where Christian Wilkins' money went? And Bradley Chubb last year. You know where Christian Wilkins' money went?
Oh my God,
and Jalen Ramsey this year.
Lewis, stop. Bradley Chubb did it.
If it was as easy, Big Nick, if it was as easy.
Lewis, that's not how football works, man.
No. It is how football works. What don't work, Big Nick, what don't work is your scenario. Because if your scenario worked, then every team that had primetime players young in the aspect like what we do, they would be doing that. But they don't
They
keep
are.
everybody neither.
They
do
are.
not.
They did it already. You want me to name the teams that did it? You want me to name the teams that did it, buddy?
Yes, who? Multiple
The
years. Go
Rams
ahead,
did
tell
it.
me.
The Rams just did it.
The Rams are punting off players.
But
Who's
they
on that
did
team
it.
That's left?
They did it.
Again, Nick,
They did it.
They did what we're already doing now.
Buffalo
they
did
re-signed
it.
everybody.
Buffalo did it.
You're wrong.
Kansas City
Who does
did it.
Buffalo have? Who does Buffalo have? They just lost Tremaine Edmonds, one of their draft picks. So they can keep Tremaine,
Okay.
what's it called?
Lewis,
What are they doing?
Lewis,
You're
calm
wrong.
down. Calm down. Just because they didn't do it to the efficiency of the best general manager in
okay,
football,
there you go, right here. That
doesn't
Homer hat
mean
comes on. It
they
doesn't
did
work
it,
like that. I don't
do
care
it.
about none of that.
So
It
can I
doesn't work like
interject
that.
for a second, guys?
The
So
Eagles
according
just
to-
did it.
Hold on. According to McGill University, when I asked Google, how does football work? According to McGill University, American football, known in the United States and Canada as simply as football, is a competitive team sport. The object of the game is to score points by advancing the football into the opposing team's end zone. The ball can be advanced by carrying the ball or by throwing or handing it from one teammate to the other. Just to
They didn't include fumble. They didn't
just
include
to check
fumbling.
everybody.
They didn't include
That's why I
fumble.
love color. This is
They
why I
didn't
love
include the
fucking
fumble.
color right here.
But again, I'm not gonna get. We don't have to spend all day on
no,
this
and
because
Nick,
the experts who I trust, the experts who have seen the blueprint, who have seen how it's going to be laid out, have said that the Dolphins window, and even not only the experts, but the people on the commentators, the ESPNs, the NFL networks, why they're saying the Dolphins window is now 2 to 3 years open. Why do you think they're saying that, Lewis?
Yes, Nick, because you have the player signed, but that doesn't come up with the.
I'll
the
tell
players
you
that
what,
are signed.
I'm so glad you asked, Big Nick,
Nope.
because that just so
That shit
happens
doesn't
to be
make
the
no
title
sense.
of today's show. And Scar 305 had reminded me about that because I didn't want to interrupt y'all's discussion about Christian Wilkins. I think it was a great discussion. But here you go. Scar, to get us back to the topic of the show, Tyreek's out there saying he's done after 2025.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does that mean to you guys for the growth of Tua? Let's say if he needs a little more, if he continues to need, the best weapons available. Is there people out there at that point with our salary cap and all that we can replace Tyreek with? Is Waddle going to correct his issues and become the next Tyreek? What do you guys all think about what Tyreek's been saying about his finite stay in Miami?
That's Waddle's money. That's Waddle's money.
I think
as soon as
if
Tyreek
anybody,
comes off the book, that's Waddle's money.
Yeah.
I think if anybody seriously holds any credence to what an elite athlete says that he's going to retire in his prime, I don't even think it's a conversation worth having.
I actually like that take, Big Nick, but keep elaborating, guys. I mean, it's the topic of the show. I'm glad we're finally roundabout getting into this
topic. I'll be out of this topic.
Well, I mean, it's more over the overall topic. It's not so much whether you believe Tyreek. The man is saying what he's saying, and that's what we have to talk about right now. You know what I mean? But I'm in agreement with you, Big Nick, that I think we can take it for a grain of salt.
Absolutely.
But that being said, if it is a serious thing, if we are, out of Tyreek, after 2025, how does that affect the way we move forward with all things involved?
I don't think
it hurts much.
It doesn't affect nothing. Waddle will get his money, but this narrative that I guess Color's kind of agreeing with Big Nick that let's say Tyreek Hill's not being honest. Well, then Tyreek Hill is just a dumb motherfucker. I'm going to come out and say it. Because
it's not that he ain't being honest. He's just talking. It's not about honest. It's just talking.
Can I finish my point, though?
Man, now we're never going to get an interview with the guy, man.
No. I'm just saying he's dumb as fuck then. Because if you're going to come out and tell every general manager, because he's not just talking to everybody. He's on a podcast broadcasting for the world. And if you mean to tell me that he's telling people, I only have a 10-year plan in my future, right? And you think after that, let's say after that 10-year, a team is going to come up to him and say, well, Tyreek, we heard that you were contemplating retirement, but here's another bag. You think that's what's going to happen? No, that's not going to happen.
They did it for Aaron Donald. They gave Aaron Donald quarterback money when he said it after 7
Yeah,
years.
nobody's insulting Tyreek. Lewis just said
Aaron
if.
Donald said the same
Lewis,
thing.
hold on, guys. I gotta correct everything. Okay, nobody's insulting Tyreek. Lewis made an if-then statement that if Tyreek is blah blah blah, then blah blah blah. Okay, so nobody was insulting Tyreek.
Yeah, no.
Well,
I
who said that?
Here's
I
the
think
deal with
superior athletes.
Who
I think
said-
superior athletes do that all the time.
Who
and not
said
really
that?
mean it.
It don't matter, Lewis. It don't matter.
Hey, Paul, why don't you fucking go cry me a fucking river? I don't give a fuck what none of these dumb motherfuckers say in the goddamn chat.
The guy is pretty much saying, in 2 years, you better get your crap straight, Uno, or I am out of here. And that's the
Maybe
best
that
polite
is
way of
the
saying
actual
it.
message, Cat for life. Very astute.
Tyreek's out
correlation.
after
You could be onto
2020.
something.
Color, I think you and I coming from an age experience, from an experience overall. I think we're not really giving that too much grain of salt. That's what I'm getting from
Well,
you.
just because the guy is like
we've heard
consistently
it.
putting up the same numbers he's put up his entire career into year 7 now, and it's like, why would he slow down? You know?
Yeah, but we've heard it so many times.
Of course,
over elite
because
athletes.
the second a team gives him another bag, he's playing again. It don't matter, you know what I mean?
Right.
Tyreek's getting cut after 2025 anyways.
I don't get why you're going to be so vocal in a situation where you know you just signed 1 year ago and you're being vocal now because obviously he's vocal every year because of the podcast he has. I get that. But to be this vocal and saying I'm going to hang it up in 2 years if I don't, end up getting a ring here or just whatever, vice versa. If he's saying it's a 10-year plan, it's a 10-year plan, but it doesn't work in our benefit.
But
Well,
he's not just the best. He's not just the best in the NFL at his position. He knows he's the best in it. All that shit carries cachet. All that comes with
he's the best
being
receiver
the
in the league?
What?
You think he's the best receiver in the league?
Either way, it's be an out to get out.
I don't think so.
No.
Oh, okay, well,
get out of my head.
For his height and his speed, he's the best.
That boy out in Minnesota.
we don't have to convince him, man.
No, it's JJ by far.
What?
But regardless, because Tyreek's getting cut after 2025 anyway.
If we keep
Because
it that's
plays
his
in
way out.
2026, they're going to have to pay him $44 million. They cut him. It's only a dead cap of 11.
So welcome to Fred Dunlap.
$33 million.
I wanted to read Anthony's comment real quick. He said, panel, we're forgetting the Dolphins already applied the nuclear option to both contracts for Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey. So the money that Nick is talking about doesn't really exist.
What?
He asked me twice to read the comment, so he's very adamant about it.
We're paying the top 3.
Yeah, no
we're paying the top 3. We're paying two top 5 cornerbacks, $18 and $17 million. That money is not going up. It's not going up. And if you don't think that factor into that, that's crazy. And plus, Xavier's last year is next year anyway, so that doesn't matter.
So isn't the salary cap going up and all
That
these TV deals?
it's all going up.
Every time the salary cap goes up, so
Everybody's
does
numbers
the league
move.
minimum.
In general,
so does league minimum.
In tandem,
So-
right? Exactly.
If the salary cap goes up 50 million, let's say, but the league minimum, let's say now is 1.5 million instead of 1 million. So that's a lot of salary that you guys gonna have to pay. It just
That's
the
true.
salary
What was it
cap
this
goes up.
year?
doesn't
Wasn't
matter.
it like 14 million it went up this year? It was kind of small.
But
No,
Yeah,
that
but
was
Yeah, but it's going to take a
more
big
because of
jump
COVID.
because of the contract.
so
That was
hypothetically,
because of COVID.
hypothetically, if the league
contracts.
goes up to $300 million salary cap, how many football knowledge people? How many $20 million linebackers are going to be in the NFL even then?
That's true. It's just going to reset. It's just going to reset the
You're not
market.
right. The people that are not $20 million linebackers are going to be damn good players.
I mean, just to be fair, once the YouTube money kicks in, that's going to increase the salary cap a lot too. So,
hey Ali, that tweet or that text that is in the text, is that new enough to run the breaking news kind of run or no?
There's a reason why it's only $117 million running back.
I really want to hit the breaking news button, man.
Break it, man. Break it.
It's not really that breaking. That's why I'm asking Ali.
You can do that. You can go ahead. It's about, I want to say about, what has been an hour? Let me check it real quick.
I haven't done it in so long. I don't even know. We do still have it. All right, cool.
But back to the window while you guys are doing that. Back to the window. You don't run across NFL teams from the time they draft their quarterback until.
Well, it's 45 minutes old. You can do it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Hold on, Big Nick. Hold on, Big Nick. You'll have the floor right when I'm done, bro. Okay. It's great. So, according to Cameron Wolf, the Panthers have agreed to terms with former Dolphins safety Eric Rowe, a veteran with championship experience, to add to whoever this guy's name is defense.
I laughed at
championship with who?
Why you laughing, man? Eric was good.
Championship with who? New England?
Yeah, he was a special teamer.
Oh my God, they're going to bring that up.
He was a special teamer.
It's a champion.
He's a champion. He went through the shit. He went through it.
You're right about that, man. Yeah, you're right. You're right. He was a champion.
But back to my window. How many teams? Seriously, this is an honest question. How many teams from year one you draft your top 5 quarterback or whatever top 10 quarterback, and all the way until year 7 your window is open? And you guys want to hate on my fucking GM? You guys crazy.
Well, I'm glad you're admitting it, Big Nick.
Hold on.
I'm glad at least you're admitting it.
Those are the teams that have their franchise quarterback that are just their elite quarterbacks.
Right.
And the window closed after year 1 of the contract.
No, they don't.
Well, no, I just want to give
absolutely
credit
does.
to Big Nick, because Big Nick is an honest guy. That's why I've always liked and respected Big Nick, even though we disagree on a lot of takes, right?
Man, you're being nice.
No, I'm not. No, seriously, I'm not patronizing. What I'm trying to say is, listen, though. Big Nick is willing to admit something that most 2-and-ears ain't willing to admit, that we've always been on a 7-year plan. Okay?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, Culler. I didn't say that. You can't do that.
Sharif said it from the beginning.
I did not say that, Culler.
How do you not? You just said that when you get your top 5 quarterback,
I did
the
not say
expectation is
that.
you got 7-year window.
Let me break it down
That's
in 2
true.
parts. Let me break it down in 2 parts. Most teams with their franchise quarterback, most teams try to win within that rookie contract. But my general manager is so fucking awesome that he's bought me 3 extra years after that rookie contract. He bought me 3 extra years after that rookie contract, which is, to me, is phenomenal. Most teams try to win within that rookie contract.
Okay, but you deflected from what you said. You said that
I didn't say that.
When you draft the top 5 quarterback, that your window is 7 years.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said how many teams windows are open for 7 years after a top 5 quarterback. That's what
most
bad
teams.
But our window wasn't open the first 3 years, so there was not 7. That's where you're wrong. Our window just got open. Our window still not even open.
Tom Brady's window was open for 20 years.
Lewis, you're wrong, Lewis. What year did we gut the team, Lewis? What year did we have all this money?
In 2019, we gutted the team. In 2019.
Which time you talking about? We gutted it
1 year before Jacksonville did it.
And
they already ahead of us.
Our window wasn't open in 2020.
Well, to be fair,
our window wasn't open in 2021. Our
Wait a minute. Are you? Come on, man. I don't think you guys. Well, all due respect, I think you guys correlate winning a championship with your Super Bowl window being open. I think you guys are miscorrelating that, right?
Are you?
No, we're not. That's what it's all about.
whether you win it or not, whether
You're moving
win
the
it or
goalpost.
not,
Whether you win it or not. So we on a 50-year plan.
Hold on.
Hold on. I'm going to push back against what his theory.
It's impossible for me to clarify
that
it.
we're
I can't clarify
confusing
it.
winning a championship with winning a championship.
Hold on. Did Tom Brady's window ever close?
Oh my God. Tom Brady's the greatest player.
No, don't go there.
But I want to give Big Nick.
Wait. Answer that question again. Did Tom Brady's windows ever close? Was Tom Brady ever the highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Did Tom Brady ever get his money?
That's because he had a billionaire for a wife. That's why.
Did he ever get his money in New England?
Right, but hold on. Why did he do that?
It doesn't matter. That's irrelevant.
Oh, it does matter because you're saying these teams only win with.
Let me say it.
No, you said the way teams win.
I'm going to keep talking over you because that's what you do to me, and then try to finish my sentence. We don't even know each other. Let me tell you. I'm not afraid of you. I will tell you what I mean if you let me.
Oh my God.
What I'm saying is, when you get your rookie quarterback, generally that gives you from the time you draft him until his 5th-year option to win a Super Bowl before you have to pay him $40 million. That gives you that window. Everybody has that window. Everybody tries to use that window. The most recent example was the Arizona Cardinals. They just tried to use that window. The Buffalo Bills.
A 5-year window?
Bro, what are we talking about? Like, this is ridiculous.
I disagree.
I'm kind of confused about windows now.
Yeah, I disagree with him because he says all these teams
in my window
do these units with a rookie quarterback. That's not true.
I need to wash mine, man.
Okay, can I give you guys an example? Can I give you guys an example? Can I give you a tangible example that you'll say, okay, there it is right there. Joe Burrow, right, is not getting paid yet, right?
Oh, he is though. He'll get paid.
Oh my God, God damn. Joe Burrow is not getting paid now, right?
He's not getting paid at this moment. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
But he
made a Super Bowl visit because they right? Because they had a lot of money to go out and get a lot of guys, to support their Super Bowl run, right?
But he made it in his 2nd year.
Lewis.
And he almost made it in his 3rd year.
What you mean? He got a lot of guys, man. He came into Cincinnati with players that were already there. They didn't go get nobody special enough other than Chase.
That was a part of the process. 2nd year. What are you talking about?
Okay, when he came into the league, was the Cincinnati Bengals Super Bowl ready?
How many playoff games had they won?
They didn't win nothing when he without him.
They wasn't ready, right? They wasn't ready.
They wasn't.
They were a playoff team.
They rebuild with us. What are you talking about?
They wasn't ready. They wasn't ready when he came into the league, right? They wasn't ready. So they had Joe Burrow. They went out and got some studs, right?
They already had those studs.
They already had those studs.
All right, I'm done. They're delusional. Hey, Culler, you have the computer. From the time, go look at the free agents that they added. Go look at the free agents who they added to their team.
When was the last time Cincinnati
who
was
did
in
they
the playoffs?
Big Nick, who did they add? No. Who did they? No. Hold on. Big Nick, who did they add?
Okay, so what you're asking me to do right now is something I'm gonna be completely honest about. I can't name a player.
I think all they added was Jamar Chase, and Joe Mixon. That was it.
No,
Joe Mixon is the longest tenured player on the team.
All they had. But Chase happened after Burrow.
The year they went to the Super Bowl, they added Jamar Chase. That was it. Bro, their Super Bowl window.
I'm not going to have this discussion because I can't name the players because it's not my fucking team. But I know they added free agency. I know they added a lot of shit to that team. Can you look?
No, they did not. They added
they didn't add nobody in free agency, man.
on.
The most that they added in free agency was this past year, not the year they went to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
When was
And
they
they
last
added
playoff
Jamar
appearance?
Chase. Jamar Chase was the only one they added his Super Bowl year. The fact of the matter is, we're arguing over the wrong thing.
I'm waiting
The
on
Super
color.
Bowl,
I'm waiting on
Nick,
color.
Big Nick, you ain't got to worry about color. Well, listen to me. Their Super Bowl window got opened up when Joe
I think
Burrow
Ali
hit the
might have
facility.
just done it, Big Nick.
So
Joe Burrow is the one that opened up that window.
okay, so I'm not going to be able to get you guys because you're not going to look at it.
I think Ali might have
we'll
just done
move on.
it.
We'll move on. We can agree
Ali
to
is
disagree on
pretty
that.
diligent. He
We can
probably-
disagree on that.
No.
When you guys say once they pay Joe Burrow this year, once he sets the market this year, Joe Burrow is going to set the market. Once he does that,
Hell no. Their window's still open as long as are you listening? Is my mic on? Joe Burrow is the window.
Hold on.
I see what it is. I see what it is now. It just
Joe
hit me.
Burrow. Joe Burrow is
Do
already.
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Joe Burrow is the window.
Right, but you understand.
Joe
Right, but
Burrow is the window.
So the only person I've seen to be able to talk
Big Nick
to
is
rationally,
Asian.
the only person I've seen to be able to listen to me and answer a rational question is when I say window color, am I talking about the ability of a player or I'm talking about the money you can add to the team? That's which one am I talking about?
I don't know. That's why I was trying to give you a chance to clarify. Because
The window means the money that you can add to your team. The window doesn't mean the youth of your
the window don't matter, bro.
The youth doesn't mean that the youth isn't the window. The money that you can support that youth, that window, that team with is the window. That's what I mean by window. The free
Money
agency
don't always
window.
equal
The
talent.
money to pay your players. That's what I mean by a window.
Money don't always
Yeah, but
equal talent.
How do you know? How do you know Joe Burrow's not going to take a lesser contract to put more better players around him? Because that's already been talked about. But he's willing to take.
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
So wait a minute. Who's the better quarterback?
I need me a beer, man. I need me a Heineken.
See, these what if questions. These what if questions are already answered for you. If you guys just pay attention and stop being so much as a fan on the field and start paying attention to the NFL. Who is the biggest star in the eyes of the NFL right now? Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
Who is the biggest star in the eyes of the NFL? Not you, the fan. The eyes of the NFL.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
Lamar Jackson.
He's the biggest star.
The Players Union. The Players Union.
The NFL is Patrick Mahomes
to get his money. So you think they're gonna go to Joe Burrow and say, "Well, we just went through this bullshit with Lamar to get his money. We want you to take less money." But that don't factor in.
No,
right?
they're gonna pay him what they think the future market value of him is.
Burrow's gonna get more than $50 million a year.
I guess we come from a different.
Nick's point, Lamar Jackson has more potential to win another MVP than Joe Burrow does.
I look at what is and not what should be. So that's a problem. That's a disconnect I have with a lot of people.
Except
I look at what is and not what should be. So, and I'm a positive person. So I'm not going to look for the negative shit. I rather accentuate the positive shit. That's me.
You got a team for you.
I'm positive too.
That's right. What sign Eichenberg to $100 million and be positive?
hey, it's not your money, man. And you don't know more.
Why not? Have at it.
You don't know more than Frank Smith. You don't know more than Frank Smith, and it's not your money.
I will be back, fellas. I will be back.
I would agree.
Indulge a little bit.
Well, a bigger star is Jermaine. Asking who the biggest star is the same thing as asking who the MVP is. That's precisely what the MVP of the NFL is. Its biggest star.
No, I didn't say who's the biggest star in the NFL. I said in the eyes of the NFL, who's the star between Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson.
Right, and I
Joe
said
Burrow.
Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson has more potential to win an MVP again than Joe Burrow does.
And Lamar Jackson never had any weapons, man. Never had any outside weapons.
Those are two comments.
Never.
Those are two comments from fans, and Lamar Jackson might be a better player, but that
Lamar Jackson doesn't have Hollywood.
That blue-eyed, blonde-hair, great white hope is
Well,
NFL
Big Nick, the reason I think it's different or it's the same in my answer to Jermaine is why I think it's the same is because, and what I think a lot of people, and maybe it's my own Pollyannish solipsist idea of what the NFL MVP should be. But if you think about what the acronym means, most valuable player, and if you're talking about league-wide, so the title of NFL MVP, what is the NFL in the business to do? Number one, first and foremost, Big Nick.
To make money.
Thank you. So, to me, who would be the most valuable player? The one with the biggest draw. That is the NFL MVP. Now, it correlates with stats and accomplishments because, generally speaking, the guy with the most accolades is the one bringing the biggest draw.
Right.
But when people wonder why, so-and-so was better for his team than so-and-so was for his team, no, so that's why they should be their team MVP.
See,
but NFL MVP, to me personally, should be the guy that brings in the most money.
Good point. That's valuable.
Your most valuable in business, not always your most valuable commodity is your most marketable commodity.
Right.
So
they've already admitted it's an entertainment industry. Okay. So and you had you didn't even hesitate answering my question as to what their first and foremost business is.
Right.
Is to make money. So to me, the most valuable player would be the guy making them the most money.
Well, that's the most valuable
an interesting point that you make, Culler. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir. I apologize. Go ahead.
That can be considered the most valuable commodity, but not necessarily the most valuable marketing.
Well, that's true too.
So you can take a look at when Steve Nash won the MVP. Anybody named Mama knows Shaquille O'Neal should have been the MVP that year.
But did Steve Nash had the most jersey sales that year?
I don't know if Steve Nash had the most.
So, Culler,
Shaquille O'Neal was always at the top in jersey sales.
Just for clarification, you're stating that the league MVP should be awarded very similar to what the Heisman is. It's not just about your stats because there are players that had way higher stats than the Heisman winner and didn't win. It's how they were marketed and what they brought to their program with all of that combined is what you're saying.
At the very least, it should be weighted the most weight. Like it should be 80% who brings in the most draw. If we're talking about what is valuable,
but come on,
money is valuable to the NFL.
You can't come up with the MVP on that. I don't think, man.
No, Tua was definitely a money move.
That guy in the bathroom. Sounds like he's in a bathroom.
But again, it's going to be, you're not going to have a guy that don't put up the numbers bring in the most money. So it does correlate. It does go hand in hand.
Under that weighted score, under that.
It's only two entities where the MVP means something to, right? Seriously. There's only two entities where the MVP means something. It means something to the fans, and it means something to the player for contract negotiations, right?
That's fair.
The MVP.
You know who I vote for. My personal vote would have been for MVP. It would have been Jalen Smart this year.
No, the MVP should be based on. That's
who my MVP would have been.
The scale is easy.
Look at it this way. Look at it this way. If it came down to Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, well, I mean, they're arguably equally as great a player at each of their positions as each other. So
yeah, but I'm going with
which player
over the edge?
This is the easy
I'm going with Patrick. I'm going with Patrick. Look, I'm
And
going
so
with
with the
Come
NFL
on, man.
because
Come
he
on.
makes them more money than Tyreek Hill.
This is an easy scale and it's
Argument.
quantifiable, right? It's quantifiable and it's easy scale. Which player has the greatest impact gain and the greatest impact loss to one particular team? She'll be the
Patrick
MVP.
Mahomes.
By that,
Patrick
it
Mahomes.
should have been Tyreek.
It would have been, yeah, it would have been Tyreek.
We would have lost
You know
Tyreek.
what? How about this, Big Nick? Maybe that's what should get him in the discussion. But what comes down to separating all of the nominees, it really is who's the best for the NFL.
So would you consider this an MVP? A player that took a team to the championship the year before was traded off of that team the next
Culler,
year.
I gotta bounce. Thanks for having me, man.
The team that he was traded to, run a franchise record in wins, and the team that he was traded from went into the lottery. Should that player be the MVP?
Nah, man, because you know there's always that's a quarterback award.
So the team again, the team that you leave go into the lottery, and the team that you go to has one of the best records in the NFL.
Well, I don't disagree with you from an X's and O's standpoint.
But doesn't that define value to a team?
If that player's not a quarterback, he's got no shot.
We know that's
okay. So that's why I say I kind of backed up a little bit, Big Nick. That's why I'm saying maybe we're talking about weighted average here. So, for instance, maybe monetary value could be 80% and everything else 20%. You know what I mean? Like, again, because I think it correlates anyway. I think that you're gonna find the guy that brings in the most haul for the NFL is usually gonna be the guy that stacks up those numbers and does make that type of difference.
I don't think there's a player.
You know what I mean?
think there's a player that brings more money in than the Shield itself. I think the logo.
what?
I think the Shield brings more money than any individual.
Hold on,
player.
Color. Hold
Well,
on.
they
Let me
don't
let
bring it
me
in
let me
underneath
point
that.
out something, Color. Color. I think that should be upside down.
The logo.
Hey, Color.
Out.
I think it should be
Always good.
80% what you do on the field and 20%.
Well, fair enough. If
numbers.
that's your opinion,
I
fair
think it
enough.
should be the
I'm
other
just
way around.
pointing out that we're forgetting the monetary value aspect of why some of these guys.
Yeah, but you don't want nobody.
Other guys, you know.
You don't want you don't want the Yao Ming China effect where you have a bunch of people just putting a lot of dollars in one player because of popularity and they ain't did nothing on the field and they get an overweighted balance and it skews the numbers.
Really great. That's a bad example. Because he was really great.
And
no, he wasn't. He's many plays that he shouldn't have been no freaking.
It's so expensive in the
discussion.
NFL. Nobody's
Did
going to be
somebody
really
say
doing
Yao
that.
Ming wasn't great?
Just imagine.
No, but that was years that he got votes that he shouldn't have never been getting.
He was great.
For MVP, he shouldn't have been getting
He
votes
never
like that.
won MVP.
If it's going to be all
I'm
about
talking about for all-star games.
if it's going to be all about money, guys, you got. I
Why
like
not?
whoever sucked the year before gets the number one.
That
draft.
was a many years he was
All of a
trash.
sudden they got to draw.
So it's many years that the Miami Heat fans vote Miami Heat players into the All-Star game. That's what you do. He has
No,
a billion people in his
you
country.
don't. No, he wasn't the best player at his position
Why
during
are we
that
talking
time.
about
He
the
didn't-
Miami
the
Heat
most
in the
votes.
NBA? Why are we doing that anyway? Who cares about the NBA and Yao Ming and all that? Who cares?
No, Lewis. I'm saying that
I just find it
to
funny how
Color's
people-
point, it shouldn't be based on money.
I just find it funny how people that get paid for a living is criticized.
We need Yao Ming for a tight
It's
end,
called
bro.
trash. I don't understand that. I don't
Well,
understand how anybody can call Yao Ming trash.
I was gonna put some in there.
If the only advantage to winning
Yeah.
in the NFL was that you increased your fan base, then that would be what made a valuable player. But the fact of it is, these franchises and the NFL their sole purpose is to make money.
Right. But
So the player doing that for them the most, however, you have to do it. If it's putting up the numbers, which I believe generally that's what's going to do it. I don't think you can market like you're saying. I don't think in the NFL the stuff is so expensive to support these teams that the average fan is just not going to support somebody unless they're coming through with the goods on the field.
Right.
But if I can give you one word, I can give you the one word that encapsulates everything.
Maybe
that
it
you're
should be
saying.
50-50. Maybe the percentage should be adjusted rather than maybe I'm weighting it too heavily. You have a point there.
But they already
I
have
don't
a
know
system.
about the other way around.
But the
Just
system
what
they
you do on
have,
the field.
The system that they have, Culler, already encapsulate what you're saying. It's called impact. The most impactful player in the NFL is generally the MVP.
Right. I'm okay. Okay. Fair enough, Big Nick. But I think a lot of the times, hold on, guys.
That's all it needs to be. That's all it needs to be.
Hold on.
And
I
that's
think
not
a
just
lot
on
of
the
the times,
field.
though, when
That's
we're
not
all
just
having
on
the
the field. That's
discussion.
everything about the NFL.
But hold on, Big Nick. I think a lot of the times, though, what happens when the media and people like us are having the discussion, none of us bring that aspect to the table when we're trying to figure out why nobody's looking at a wide receiver or nobody's looking. You know what I mean? Like, we have to remember that part of this NFL MVP includes what kind of draw you bring to the league. You know what I mean?
Impact. Right. Impact.
Right.
If you're off on the bye week, and CBS Sports Today or what the NFL show spent the whole segment on your team, that's impact.
I mean, who make the most impact? Who make the most impact?
If they're doing a Thursday night game and where two teams are isolated from the rest of the NFL, and they're still talking about Patrick Mahomes, that's impact.
Well,
I mean, I could argue Randy Moss was probably bringing in more at the time he was with New England than Brady was, but we don't know what the actual numbers are, though. But the bookkeepers do.
Well, unfortunately, they don't go by the definition of the award. The definition of the award is most valuable player, and that, to me, that means without that player, that team wouldn't have been as successful as it was.
Right.
Without Patrick,
To the team, but to the NFL, the NFL's value is in dollars.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I should change it from MVP to MOP. It should be the most outstanding player.
The most impact.
If Patrick
it should be the most outstanding player.
I want to give Caslin a chance to get something in. Go ahead, Caslin.
If Patrick Mahomes isn't on the field, right? That's a big impact on the team. They're not winning games, and it's a big impact for the NFL because nobody's going to turn into the game.
That's what I mean. It kind of correlates anyway.
Right.
It's like they're joined, they're entangled. You know what I mean?
It's all under the impact umbrella. It's all under the umbrella of
he's
impact.
by far the best player in the NFL.
Now I agree with Big Nick. Maybe they should start a new or most outstanding player.
I don't know. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes is the best. I don't know. Some people might say Aaron Donald is the best player in the NFL.
Yeah, well, Aaron Donald probably should have won MVP 2 years ago, but he's not a quarterback.
Right.
I've heard some people say Christian McCaffrey is the best player in the NFL.
Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the NFL.
Because of him playing the most important, most impactful position.
Well, if it's about dollar signs, then the guy making the most money is the best player in the NFL. Bottom line, it don't matter if he could be trashed. He could be right. He could be wrong way Willie or whatever. You know what I mean?
That means
But he making the most money. He's winning.
Deshaun
But
Watson
once again, the rules have changed.
That's going to be Joe Burrow.
Driven league.
This is a professional sport. Let's not forget.
This is a quarter.
Their mission is to make money for themselves, just like you go into your job every day. You know what I mean? So the guy making the most money is the best employee.
Isn't there a dude in the NFL right now that's scheduled to make $60 million this year?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, I'm not arguing that they're the most outstanding employee, as Big Nick said, but
keep in mind, those contracts are
for whatever reason, if they're making the most money, they're doing it right, and you ain't.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you something. Why did Lamar Jackson win MVP? He certainly wasn't the highest paid quarterback in the NFL when he won it.
Because he put up 45 touchdowns and 1 billion yards on the ground.
Thank you. It was just all obvious to us, right? It was all obvious.
It brought viewers to the television.
It was obvious. It was obvious.
Lamar Jackson made people that wasn't Baltimore fans.
It was obvious, bro. When you seen Lamar come in at quarterback, you witnessed amazing things at their quarterback position.
It made you want to Big Nick's point too. It made you want to check the TV guide to find out when Baltimore was playing again.
Exactly, man. I seen amazing, extraordinary things at the quarterback position when Lamar got here, man.
Michael Vick never won a Super Bowl. Michael Vick never won an MVP.
Right. You're right.
Everybody stopped what they was doing and watched Michael Vick.
Michael Vick never won MVP, huh? That's crazy.
I don't think he ever won a playoff game either.
McNabb did. McNabb never did either.
Yes, he did win a playoff game. He was the first one to beat Green Bay and Lambeau Field on the road.
Okay.
No, I'm saying he never won an MVP.
No, someone said he didn't win a playoff game.
Hey, and I can tell you something, Michael Vick. I can tell you something. Michael Vick was the first player in NFL in pro sports history to do. He was the first player in pro. Well, I don't know. He might have been the second player, but he was definitely the first player in NFL to get 2 $100 million contracts.
Right.
I think A-Rod was the first player to get multiple $100 million contracts.
Man, y'all wanted to bring up first.
Yeah, I think A-Rod was. Well, A-Rod was definitely the first one to get a $100 million contract, wasn't he?
I thought it would be a basketball player.
No.
Uh-oh, I'm frozen.
No.
Am I frozen, guys? Y'all hearing me?
No, we can
Yeah,
hear
we
you.
hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, it came back. Look at that. All right.
A-Rod got
So
$100
since
million.
we were bringing up some firsts,
A-Rod got $100 million. That was 10 years, $100 million, $200 million.
It was 250 from Texas.
Yeah,
you guys ready for some firsts?
That set the world on fire.
I just looked up. Hold on. I just looked up these stats on a guy who we were just talking about, and these are some first we can talk about. Most single season rushing yards by a quarterback, 1,206.
That's Lamar,
Most
right?
single season rushing attempts by a quarterback, 176.
Lamar Jackson.
Most 1,000-yard rushing seasons by a quarterback, 2. Most games with a perfect passer rating in the same season, tied with Ben Roethlisberger for 2.
Yeah, it's Lamar Jackson.
Most games with 100 rushing yards by a quarterback, 12. Yeah, see, Ron has heard this before because Ron watches my show.
Yeah, I've heard it too, Culler.
And he knows that. But see, the one that I wanted to point out that I've already pointed out in the past was the most games with a perfect passer rating in the same season.
Yeah.
There
because it doesn't matter if he threw for 1 billion yards or not. What a perfect passer rating tells you is that he took care of the football.
Yeah.
One way or another. And he's got a 45-16 career record.
Sheesh.
1-3 in the playoffs. Why is this even a question? Why do people even go down the road of trying to shit on this man?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair,
we know why, Culler.
No, I don't think they're trying
How does somebody not want that for their franchise team?
Because of the money.
To be fair, he has been San Diego.
Oh well. You know what? Oh well. When you add a player like Lamar, you don't need a special offensive line. You don't need a $30 million wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? You don't need all that.
45 touchdowns. He was responsible. Hold on, Ron. He was responsible for 45 touchdowns in one season.
Right.
He's
so
also.
He's
also
the team around him to win a Super Bowl.
But he's
what?
With all those accolades, with all those greatness about Lamar Jackson, he's also the easiest and have been done multiple times that San Diego defense on it. He's easy to shut down when you want to, and it's been proven over and over again.
Easy to shut down, and he only got 15 losses in his career. I got it. Easy to shut down when he only got 15 losses. I got it.
Just because teams have figured out a way to shut him down, that it is by any other stretch of the imagination easy to do. Hold on.
Stop hating on Lamar, man. Stop hating on Lamar.
Hold on. Just give me a second.
Stop hating on Lamar.
I just want to answer that by saying, just because a team has figured out how to shut down Lamar Jackson, by no stretch of the imagination makes it easy to do.
Exactly. That's what I just said. Guy's an incredible athlete.
Hey, all I'm saying is,
and now only 15 teams was able to do it, Culler.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this: you can't shut down Lamar.
That's regular season.
You can't shut down Lamar Jackson. You can only hope to. You can't shut him down, bro. You can only hope to contain him.
Shut him down real easy. 15 times in 4 years. Wow.
Hold on, I want to give
that's real easy job.
But what I want to say first is we're also continuing to put out of our head, for some reason when this discussion comes up, it all floats right out of everybody's head. that we're talking about the potential of a Lamar Jackson on our team, not the trash Baltimore Ravens.
That's what we need to
people
talk
miss,
about.
Culler.
All we need to talk about.
The potential of him with our weaponry.
About that because he's not our quarterback. He's not going to
Right, they avoid that.
Big Nick.
It's a no-brainer.
Big Nick. Big Nick.
With all the other variables.
That's right, Culler, because only our quarterback have a right to be privileged and have a lot of good receivers and talent around them. Only our quarterback has that.
And McDaniel don't have the keys to Lamar.
If it was
He's only got the keys to Tua.
If it was just the talent aspect, it's a brainer, Color. Obviously, the guy is a world-class athlete. But it's the other variables, the ripple effect that change things.
Let me guess. The money.
Money.
So okay. So now we're back to just like I pointed out last night, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the evidence of it right now. Is we're going back to money's an issue, unless we're talking about any other position on the field.
It is an issue with Lamar because we don't have the money to pay him.
Everybody's upset we didn't go after Derrick Henry. Everybody's upset we didn't go after Dalvin Cook. Everybody's upset we don't sugar daddy a big old offensive lineman.
Color, you say everybody, but that's not my opinion.
Oh, dude, bro, I've heard nothing but the same people argue that the salary cap means nothing and it means everything all in the same day, sometimes in the same damn hour.
But my
it's getting ridiculous.
It's always been.
You can't tell me it ain't nothing the Dolphins. You can't tell me it ain't nothing the Dolphins can do to pay Lamar Jackson, man.
Listen, I've seen the Dolphins for 20 years with the best quarterback in the league. Not win.
I'm gonna have to back out,
Ron, we know that, bro. We know that. We know that.
They can.
I've seen Ferraris get in car accidents too, but that doesn't mean a Chevette is going to win the race.
I know. I don't like the Chevette comparison.
There you go, Culler.
That's what I want to see at Miami. That's what I want to see as a franchise quarterback. Sometimes greatness, man.
From this talented roster, because I know that you need a complete team to win a Super Bowl. That's all.
Hey, Big Nick, are you there?
Lamar makes us a more complete team than Tua.
Big Nick, are you there?
I'm here.
I'm gonna tell you like this: you can't shut Lamar down, bro. You can only hope to contain him. You ever heard of that?
Okay.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
You ain't shutting Lamar down. You can only hope to contain him, bro.
And then there's the other aspect. Everybody's worried about Tua's injury. What if Lamar gets hurt with pain?
Soft tissue is different than what Tua has to do.
I'll let CCRR answer that question for us, bro. Lamar's had 2 injuries in 5 years. In that same 5 years, Tua's had 5 surgeries and over 20 injuries.
Yeah.
Is that
damn 20?
Is that factual?
He said 20 injuries.
And he can't protect himself at that. And he can't protect himself.
He's had ankle injuries. He's had rib injuries. He's had his whole hip had to be redone.
The hip. Now we're talking about the back. Now we're talking about the back. Since they said, I don't think it was the back, but okay, now it's an injury. Okay, now you got a back injury.
By the way, those ankle injuries were elective surgery. He chose to
Don't
get
tell
those
him nothing.
tightrope.
Don't tell him nothing. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't tell him that.
He did. Those were elective to make his ankles stronger.
Yeah.
Don't tell him that.
Let me ask you this, Ron.
They put a cable in his ankle.
Let him use it. Let him use
Hold on.
it.
The casino, you walk into a casino and the casino says, we've only got 2 slot machines tonight. That one over there has been malfunctioning, and this one over here is not. The one that's been malfunctioning has a top prize of $100,000. The one that's been working perfectly has a top prize of $1 million. Which one do you pull? Which one do you gamble your money on?
Which one gives me the high probability? Which one gives me, when both of them are functioning, which one gives me the higher probability to win?
Well, you don't have that information.
Also,
yes, we do. Yes, we do.
It's risk.
In that case, Lamar Jackson is 45-16, and Tua is 23 to what? 21 to 13. What is it?
And it's the risk versus reward too. I mean, the reward.
Lamar Jackson's winning percentage over his career is higher.
Right, but I'm also not worried about if Lamar actually gets an injury on the field, that he ain't going to be able to come back in a couple of weeks. Tua gets another head injury, we might not see him for 10 weeks.
That's why I say we roll. We're only paying the kid what we're paying him, and fill out the rest of the roster until we.
Quick
see
question.
Look, man.
Quick
we
question.
wouldn't
Have
even be
Lamar had a
looking- I'm gonna tell
concussion
y'all,
and
for
out
all
of all
those
his
that
injuries?
think I'm hating, for all those that think I'm hating on Tua,
I don't
or that
think he
I'm
is.
dragging up
I don't
Lamar
think he
all
ever
the
did.
time, I would not even be talking about this if somebody didn't make the bold statement, and it only took one person, whoever it was, over these last few months. It only takes one time for somebody to trash Lamar Jackson to get me going on this.
I know,
It's not
man.
my
Me
fault.
too. Hey, Culler, I'm with you, man.
If you
I'm
all
with you,
stop
Culler.
trashing Lamar Jackson, I
can't-
have
I'm with
no
you, Culler.
reason to compare him to Tua.
No, there's
Yeah.
no you trash him either. Just
There is no comparison. There is no
Again,
comparison.
Ron,
I'm-
I
hey.
didn't say you were.
Color, I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not the biggest Lamar Jackson fan either, because I don't like mobile quarterbacks. I like pocket passes. That's always been my thing.
No,
But-
you don't like greatness, man. Just admit it.
No, it has nothing to do with that. Has nothing
Yes,
to do
it
with
does.
that.
You more of an
does
old
not.
school, just stand in the pocket and throw it.
Yes, I like.
But yeah,
you need more than
but
you need more
even
than
in that,
three
Caslin,
like his-
there's a high risk in that as well.
You all are acting like his career passer rating is in the tank. He's right there with every
No,
all
I'm
of
not
his
saying
all of the
that.
contemporaries.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Don't like what you like, don't mean you don't like greatness. You're not an arbiter of greatness. You don't determine what greatness is.
Hey, Nick, you all right with me? Nick, you all right with me, bro?
You know,
Hey,
Hazel, you
I don't
like-
know what greatness is. I watch greatness on the field every Sunday for 20 years.
Hazel, you don't like mobile quarterbacks because they always keep the shit of us.
Right, Caslin, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, if you take those legs that were running in Detroit back then and put them on that guy you watch down here on Sunday every week, that's Lamar Jackson, in my opinion.
No, I understand that. No, what I'm saying, like, all right, who's my favorite running back? Who's my favorite running back of all time?
Can I say a little bit of something, man? All I want is what Cincinnati, Kansas City, and I'll say Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? Them three teams, man. All I want is a good quarterback at the position. That's all. That's all.
You have that.
We don't have that, man. And where do you get get that your quarterback doesn't have to be able to run? What's the matter? Where do you think big plays come from?
Tom Brady run?
And Shake, if you gotta go,
Tom Brady won
almost
7.
No, but
Tom Brady won 7.
Tom Brady was smart too. He knew how to read defenses too, didn't he?
I know you remember Philip Rivers running up and down the field. I know you remember
Tom Brady was not a one read quarterback. Come on, man, cut that bullshit out. Tom Brady was not a one read quarterback.
Right, but you don't have to run.
Hold on, guys.
You don't have to run.
All right, I'm gonna go grab a smoke.
You're good,
So
bro.
you still on that
Y'all be
201
nice to
quarterback,
Lewis,
huh?
and you
still
better
on that
mind
shit
him.
down.
Otherwise, you know what happens.
Hey, Nick.
Lewis
Hey,
ain't
Nick.
afraid.
We got you, Colin.
My nickname is umpire, man, because I call him like I see him.
No, your nickname should be TD Jr. Let me tell you why you should be TD Jr.
I call them as I see.
Let me tell you why you should be.
All right, here we go. I had to get control of this shit. Y'all need to calm down. Let one speak, and you know that concept when one speaks, one listens, and then the other speaks. You know what I'm saying? One at a time. What's going on, Lewis? How you doing, my brother?
I'm chilling, bro. Chilling.
Okay, I'm gonna bring y'all back. Can y'all please one at a time? Thank you. Nick, you go first, and then I'll let Fred speak next.
Shake Money, you've been doing the same shit too, bro. Stop it, man. Anyway.
Doing what? When have I spoken over anybody?
Okay, all right.
Hold on. Give me an example. When have I spoken over somebody?
Well, everybody's been talking. Everybody.
Well, I haven't been taking no flows, bro. So
you gave me the floor. You gave me the floor. Let me have the floor.
Go ahead. Go for it.
I never name drop. Right? But when you be as egregious as this, and you purposely causing division within the fan base just to get your clicks and views up, I'm gonna fucking call your name. TD Fans Talk is the biggest piece of shit in Dolphins content media. Let me tell you why I say that. that Tyreek Hill tweet that everybody got all up in arms for, and Tyreek came back and corrected and said, "This is what I was talking about." Right? That shit was on Twitter. TD was sitting up there going back and forth with people over what Tyreek said, and Dudley Durong reached out to him and told him, and I have a screenshot where TD said, "Hey, I know what you're talking about. I know, but I'm gonna take this shit to my show. It'll be fun." Like, why the fuck would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you mislead people?
Didn't TD tell people that he intentionally trolled people on Twitter? He said that. Specifically said that.
Okay,
So let's not get selective amnesia. Stop getting selective amnesia. Stop it. Don't get selective amnesia.
Everybody isn't on Twitter, and some people come to TD Fans Talk for information about the team. So when you're thinking something that you know is a bullshit narrative, you know it is. You admit to it. You admit to it on one platform, and you take a different direction on your platform to stir the pot to get clicks and views. Fuck you.
He wasn't doing it for clicks and views.
Can I respond, please?
He's got 20,000 subscribers. He don't need it.
I have 195,000. I don't do that.
Okay, well then congratulations then. They got different methods of getting subscribers.
I've never had to do that.
Let Lewis speak.
Okay, that's you. You didn't have to.
No, let Lewis say something, man.
Don't take the man out of money out of this man's pocket. It's a business.
Fuck TD.
Hey, can I just respond?
Hey man, that ain't even right. That ain't even cool, man.
Go ahead, Lewis. Go ahead, respond, man. Let the
I
man
never heard
talk.
a way
Please. Thank you.
somebody gets so mad over somebody making money.
I just
Yeah, man, all that wasn't even called for, man.
And let Lewis talk.
No, just real quick. I just wanted to respond to what Big Nick was saying. Because, again, in my opinion, I don't care if Big Nick comes up here and his opinion on TD is whatever. That's fine. That's that man's opinion. I get it. But, Big Nick, I would ask you this, right? Because you said that man is a piece of shit, right? Now, those are your words, not mine. You said the man was a piece of shit because he comes out here and he puts division in the fan base. And, again, I'm not killing you for your opinion. But I would just ask you, right? Because TD is a YouTube channel that has 20-some thousand subscribers. That's a big following, if you ask me. But there's another guy in the community named Big O that has a bigger platform, right? And he does the same thing. Somebody has a horrible echo.
Somebody's got YouTube.
Yeah, somebody's got an echo.
Turn off YouTube.
Actually, TD has a much bigger platform on YouTube than Big O does.
No, well, hold on. Just let me respond though.
Somebody's got YouTube on in the back.
Yeah, somebody has
I don't know who's got active.
Me.
Yeah, it was probably you, Fred. Just keep yourself on mute until you talk, Fred. But I'm just saying, listen, we can say what we want. And I don't know Big O's YouTube number, so I'll leave that alone. I'll just say this, Big Nick. Big O has been in this community a lot longer than TD, right? And when I hear him basically all last year call for a man's job, and again, hold on, just let me finish because I'm kind of going, I want Big Nick to hear it because what he said about TD. And I get it. Again, whatever Big Nick feels about TD, I get it. I'm not saying you're wrong in that, how you feel about it. What I'm saying is when I watch a man like the Big O shit on a coach first last year, call him every name in the book, ask for his job, especially being a black man as a head coach. And again, I hate to do race into it. And then another black man in Deshaun Elliott comes out and says, or likes a tweet about Lamar and says, "Oh, Lamar, come to Miami." And then that same guy, Big O, comes on his platform and says, "Hey, this guy, Miami should be cut him and this and that." Do you feel the same way, Big Nick, how you feel about Tua? Because you said, or about TD, because you said TD is a divider of the fan base. I can sit here and argue with you, Big Nick, or not argue with you. I can have a conversation with you, Big Nick, and tell you that the Big O is a divider in this community. Would you agree with that?
Two things can be true. Fuck the Big O too.
Okay, no, and that's fair right there. That's what I was asking you. I didn't say nothing about how you felt about TD. I'm just saying that yes, if that's how you feel, but the Big O does it, and everybody don't. No one has a problem with the Big O.
So
I
want to clarify. I want to clarify my harsh words toward TD. When I say fuck him and he's a piece of shit, I mean his Dolphin related shit. He might be a great guy, great father. I might be friends with him in the real world. But I'm saying as far as his Dolphindom goes, that's what I mean. I don't attack people personally because I don't know these people. I'm just attacking what I perceive to be the content that they're giving to me and what I perceive based off of that content. Not him personally, about his Dolphindom. That's what I'm talking about.
And Lewis, I agree with you. Big O did do that to Flores last year, no question. But in his defense, he did reverse his stance on Deshaun Elliott.
Okay, but again, see, Ron, but again, right there, what you said, I agree. The Big O reversed his stance. Bro, take it from a guy that has TD's personal number. Take it from a guy that has been on the phone with TD, not on a stream, not on a panel. I've been on the phone with this man. And everything Big Nick just said about TD being a family man, being a father and stuff, TD is a great person in that aspect. But I've been on panels as well, Ron, where Tua has played well and TD has came out and said just as that. Just like what you said about Big O, that he changed his stance. I've been on panels with TD where TD has said Tua won us this game. Did anyone go back to TD's stream against Baltimore? Did anybody
reverse his.
Did anybody see
call
TD's
on
stream when
that
Tua
one.
led us to victory against Baltimore? Did anyone watch that stream? Because he was giving
he was praising Tua in that one.
I'm not against TD. I look at TD like people.
I'm not saying you, Ron. I'm just saying in general. We're having a conversation. I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general.
I want Lewis. I want you to understand where I'm coming from, right? So a couple of years ago, during the height of the pandemic, right? There was some. I got to give you guys a little bit about myself. I'm a black man who spends about 98% of his time around black people. Period. Right? That's just who I am.
Right.
That's how I get down. Right? So when the height of the pandemic was coming out, I remember there was a bunch of black people that was running around telling other black people that this don't affect us. We don't need to worry about that. This COVID doesn't affect black people, right? And so a lot of people who had a wherewithal to go get information, to do their own research, to understand what's going on, they was getting infiltrated by these people saying this dumbass shit. And I was out beating the drums. I was arguing with people. I was going back and forth.
But again,
I believe
it's not
the most
it's
harmful.
not done.
Wait. I believe the most harmful thing you can do to any particular community, doesn't matter if it's a black community, football community, basketball community. The worst thing you can do to that community is issue bad information purposely.
But it's not bad information.
It is bad information. You're going to go on your platform.
It's an opinion piece. It's not bad.
You're going to go on your platform. You're going to go on your platform to produce a narrative. To produce a narrative that you know is false.
No, it's not false.
No, it's not.
To you. It's his opinion. And again, let's be honest. This
Lewis,
is the problem.
I have it. Look, Lewis.
Big Nick, no. Hold on, Big Nick. Hold on. You were just talking. Now it's my turn to talk. Hold on for a second. See, that's where you're wrong. Because you don't like the content that you're hearing. That's what makes it a false narrative to you, because you believe a certain way. And just like TD believes a certain way, and this is the problem right here with this damn fan base. We are the ones causing the divide, because take TD out of it right here. The biggest YouTuber that we have in this community is Dougie Do-Wrong. Shout out to Dougie, right? Dougie has over 40,000 subscribers. Did you watch 3 days ago when Dougie was on TD's channel?
Yes.
Did you watch Dougie when them two supposedly?
Why are you yelling at me, bro?
I'm not yelling. I'm just talking. I'm not yelling, Big Nick. Trust me. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm sorry if you felt like I'm yelling. I'm not yelling. What I'm saying is, the divide doesn't come from those platforms. The divide comes from us, because we're torn on a certain team or a certain player. Because if you can watch two of the biggest platforms we have in this community and they can come together, there is no divide. We are the ones causing the divide, not them. You see what I'm saying? Me and you are having a conversation about two individuals that just did a collab together. They're not causing no divide. TD's not causing no divide.
No.
Dougie is not causing the divide.
And
we, as the fans, the people, we're the ones causing the divide.
And let me just say one thing, Lewis, on top of that. TD is a content creator, and he's a entertainment piece for people. What he's trying to do is give you an exciting piece of entertainment that you can join in on, and he gives you something that people can debate.
Bro, at the end of the day, Ron, it's his opinion. What does it matter what that man says? It's his opinion.
Right, but the point is, he's offering a platform for people to come up and to give their opinion, and he gives his.
One of the best content.
Doesn't make him
and
wrong.
TD specifically will warn people that he's about to go troll people on Twitter. He will even say that, you know. But you can't get mad at him for doing what he promised that he was going to do. That's what's baffling to me.
Hey, Lewis, he throws takes out there to generate conversation, to stir it up. That's what
one of the best hours I've seen in content-wise in this community just happened 2 days ago when it was TD, Doug, and Barry. Yep, that was amazing.
And Barry Cunningham.
Yeah,
that was three, incredible.
Yeah, I watched that. That was good. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, those three was pretty good. That was a pretty good segment.
But this is what I'm saying, because the Big Nick said, and again, it stopped me, Big Nick, if I'm putting words in your mouth. But what you said was TD and his platform is causing divide in the fan base. He's giving out false information. Well, it's funny to me how it's, again, that's a fan's perspective. That's what we believe. Because if I can watch TD that is labeled a Tua hater, right? If I can watch that man sit next to another man,
I get to go next, right?
Absolutely. If I can watch that man sit and do an hour panel or show with a man that's considered a Tua near in Doug, where's the division?
Okay,
bro, those men have came out and told you they are on a personal level. They are friends. Where's the divide? It's just opinion based, Nick.
Okay, I just want you. I mean, you may be able to justify this. You may. You know, if you do, you do. But I just want to read you guys something real quick. All right, this is from Douglas Durong. It applies to everyone, but he didn't write it for Tua, and calling out Tua, LOL, to make it seem that way is reaching, right? Here's a response from TD Fans Talk. And all that other you said might be cool, but this is specifically what I'm talking about. Well, I never mentioned Tua until my last tweet to you. And of course, I'm reaching. It drives people crazy. That's to you guys' argument. I knew about the previous tweet, but it still applies to Tua more than others. That's not what Tyreek said. Damn what it applies to you. We're talking about what Tyreek said, right? It applies to Tua more than others because he's never available when you need him most. This will be fun. He's saying, I knew what Tyreek was talking about, but I'm going to take Tyreek's message and I'm going to put it on my platform and I'm going to provide the narrative I want to it. That's dishonest. That's nothing to do with opinion. That has nothing to do with opinion. That's dishonest.
Who did that?
It's not dishonest, though.
Okay.
You want to know?
He admitted he knew what he was talking about. How's that not dishonest?
It's not dishonest, though. You said it's dishonest. It's not dishonest.
All right. Well, we have two different definitions of honesty.
That's a smart businessman creating a content for his show.
Hold on.
Who are we talking about?
In
TD.
In 3 years.
Hold
on. Let me say something, bro.
So when Tucker Carlson went behind and text messages saying, I fucking hate Trump, all those fucking lawyers are crazy. And then he turned around and gets on his national platform and said, Dominion stole the election. Trump is the king. That's not dishonesty.
Well, he never
you don't have to like the person.
Made the claim that of that. He was just reporting what was being said.
Who didn't make the claim? Stop it, Culler. Stop it.
See, that's where y'all confuse. A lot of people confuse somebody reporting what the things are being said and actually making the claim themselves.
He knows it's not coming from a place of honesty. He knows it's coming from made up shit. How you reporting on something that people made up?
I got to tell you what they
TD, come up here, bro.
Hold on, Louis.
Come up here, TD.
You got
to read the comment. Look, Twitter trolling. I told you I'm reading.
Hold on, right? That's what I said.
Wait, guys. Hold on, everybody. Caslin, hold on. I gotta say this, okay? What you guys are saying TD did, I said the same thing. I made it clear that I didn't think Tyreek was personally addressing Tua, but that what he said absolutely applied to Tua.
Right.
Not according to Tyreek,
Exactly.
you don't know that.
Absolutely.
Here's my biggest problem, Big Nick. You should be doing this on TD's platform, not somebody else's. You got to
doing it on the Dolphins platform.
Right, but hold on.
I'm doing it on the Dolphins platform. It pertains to
TD's
Dolphins.
here to defend himself.
No, he's
Right,
here.
hold on, let me say what I was saying.
He won't let nobody up on this platform. He won't even let nobody.
Let me add on.
No, he has open panels, Big Nick. No, TD does have panels. He has panel shows.
Let me add on what Culler said.
That's a lie.
Yeah, I've been on this plenty of times. He has
Let me
panel
add on
shows.
to what Culler said.
Subscribers only. Subscribers only.
Let me add
No,
on,
not to panel shows.
Let me add on to what Culler said. Because I want to ask.
Bring your ass up here. Bring your ass up here.
Man, TD would probably love to have you
Bring
on.
your ass up here.
Big Nick.
By the way,
Yeah, he would invite your opposition. That's what he's made to do.
I want to ask you a question.
The only reason TD puts it on subscribers only is because of those sex bots. That's
Okay, well, that's cool.
Hold on, I want to ask this. I want to ask Nick a question.
Listen,
That's a good point, Shake Money. Yeah.
Nothing I say is an indictment. What I'm saying is my experiences.
Yeah, but hold on. You said he lied. What
That's
did
a
he
lie.
say? It's not a lie.
Okay, fine.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. So Tua has been in the league for 3 years, going on his 4th year, right? Has he not?
Watch I tell this shit down. Go ahead.
How many seasons has he played a full season?
None.
Okay.
So therefore, he doesn't have the availability, correct? So how did what TD say was a lie?
You ready now? You gonna let me go?
I was asking you a question. That's what that's what I'm asking.
Anyone with the brain that's honest knows that Tua has availability issues so far. Anybody with a brain knows that, right? But also, anybody knows what the brain is, that the vehicle, what you're talking about his availability, has nothing to do with Tua. And to bring that vehicle over to your platform in order to talk about something else is dishonest and it's bait and switch.
It's not dishonest. It's genius. It's
It's
providing.
not
true.
It's
Can I
You're
say
using what Tyreek said.
Okay.
You're using what Tyreek said and to make people think Tyreek is saying this.
That's fine.
No, he's not.
Hey,
He is.
No, he
that's
didn't.
fine
He's
anyway.
it's a business.
Can I say something real
Go ahead.
quick? That's fine. That's fine. Can I just say something real quick? Because again, however you feel about the man personally, that's
You
your
a lie.
problem.
That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie.
Fine. Look,
I was on
Big
with
Nick.
you one time ever, TD. Stop lying.
Big
Stop
Nick.
lying.
Hey, can
Stop
I just
lying.
say this? So can I just say this so we can
You're
get
lying
real?
ass. Stop lying. I was
Okay,
ever on with
that-
you one time.
Yeah, we get it. You say he's lying. Let Louis talk now.
Can I just be real? Because again,
Lying
when
ass.
this man,
Not you,
get it
Louis.
all, I know, but whenever you're done, Big Nick, let it all out. Whenever you're done.
Got one more line out.
No. I was gonna tell Big Nick I was a part of your 100K subscribers. So just a reminder.
Kid coming up, Culler.
Appreciate it.
The fact of the matter is, whatever you feel about this man, right? What? And again, I'm just gonna be honest. Personal experience.
Dolphins related.
Dolphins related.
Okay.
This man again, he gets hate for one player. This man had that platform before that player got there. This man right here, and again, for me as well, the reason I know about the Fins tailgate, the reason I know about Dougie, the reason I know about Reason, the reason I know about everybody that I've met in this is because of TD.
Yep. Yep.
Bro, this wrong narrative that gets pointed out that this man is a cheat, he's a liar, he's a bitch, hoe, whatever you want to call him. Bro, the man is one of the best people that I've met personally. And again, not on a personal level to where I've been able to shake this man's hand yet, but on the private conversations I've had, from what I see and when he puts out, when his wife comes on stream, the way she talks about him, the way she supports him, the way he's a father. For us to come out here and just say he's a piece of shit and all that, bro, it's wrong. Without TD Finn's talk, hold on, let me get it out because this is real. Without TD Finn's talk in this goddamn community, right, there would be none of this bullshit that we see here, and that's a fact.
I don't know about that.
It's a fact.
Hey,
It's
Reason got his start on TD's Finn's talk.
It's a fact.
Okay.
TD is that dude. And put some goddamn respect on goddamn TD's name.
You and I have learned to have great dialect with each other. We've learned to appreciate each other. We've also learned to respect each other when it comes to the passion for our team, right?
Absolutely.
You can honestly say that about me, right? Now, I'm going to ask you a question. If you think that same post would have been directed to, say, Austin Jackson, do you think I'll still be having this exact same passion about what I can perceive to be a dishonest take?
You want me to be honest?
Be honest with me. I ain't talking about fan base.
I'm going to be honest with you, Big Nick, right here. I've said it before. There's a lot of narrative that go on, right? I don't believe if this was Austin Jackson, you would have had a problem with it. Absolutely not.
And that's not right either.
But that's not true.
Not.
That's not true. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you.
But that's the way I view it. It's true to me.
I'm going to tell you.
It's true to you.
I'm going to tell you honestly. I'm going to tell you honestly. Absolutely. I would have had that same energy with Austin Jackson. I would have had that same energy with Clayton Fed. You know why?
TD. You already know, TD.
You know why? Because I am a Dolphins fan. I love the name on the front. If Tua was cut off my team today and no longer a member of the Miami Dolphins, Culler, tell them what I said.
Oh, I know.
Fuck Tua. Fuck anybody that doesn't wear my colors anymore. Fuck anybody that has a shirt that don't have the name of the Dolphins on the front. I mean,
I'm all about these days. I'm about fuck anybody that don't make my colors more respectable.
The problem, Big Nick, the problem with your statement right there, though.
That's
right?
true, Culler.
And me and you have had conversations, Big Nick, right? You only get in an uproar because you just said it. If they leave the team, you wouldn't have a problem. I'm not going to question that. But you're being a little bit of a hypocrite, and this is why. Because if I bring up Tua Tagovailoa, you get in an uproar. But if I turn around and hold on, Big Nick, let me finish.
Okay.
If I turn around and I say I wanted Orlando Brown Jr. to go replace Austin Jackson, you don't get in an uproar. And Austin Jackson is a player on this team. Austin Jackson is a guy that lines up for you and plays every Sunday. If I told you right now I wanted to go get Bobby Wagner to replace Jerome Baker, you wouldn't have a problem with that. And Jerome Baker has not missed a game for your team since he got drafted. He has never missed a start, but you would be okay with that. But if or Culler, just let me land this in the last 10 seconds. But if me and Culler would tell you right now, go trade for Lamar Jackson to remove Tua, you would be in an uproar. Am I lying?
Can I address that? Can I address that?
Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely.
And again, I'm going to be honest with you, my brother. I love how you bringing that to me, and I love that you give me an opportunity to be honest. And I've asked you this question many a times, and I've asked Culler this question many times, right? When have you guys given me the opportunity to be in an uproar about Austin Jackson? When have you guys given me an opportunity to be in an uproar about the linebacker? Whenever about Jerome Baker? Whenever you guys
talk about trading for those guys all the time.
I brought this up before, Culler, so you can't say I haven't.
No, but what I'm saying is we bring up trading out for those guys all the time.
Listen, Culler,
so you always got an opportunity.
Why? You know what you bring me on? I like to think you bring me on immediately because you like what I bring to the show. But I kind of think you bring me on because I'm very rarely here.
No, I actually.
So I don't
believe
hear.
It or not,
I don't hear a lot of
people
those
on.
things.
Hold on, Big Nick. Let me answer that. I actually, to tell you the truth, I bring people on at their leisure. I mean, I don't choose. The only time I choose to take somebody off is when they're degrading the content of the show.
Okay. My point is,
but as far as choosing to bring people on, it's at their leisure.
Okay,
I don't make that.
I like to think. I said I like to think so. You know, I didn't say that's the case. I said I'd like to think so. Right.
Well, yeah.
But
I mean, do I enjoy having you on? Absolutely.
My point is, I'm a full-time YouTuber. Seriously, I'm a full-time dad and YouTuber. This shit takes up all of my damn time, right? So I don't hear a lot of the content about other players. Whenever I come to this show, the main topic is Tour. So that's who I wind up defending or talking about. You guys don't give me a chance to talk about fucking Liam Eichenberg. Give me that opportunity, and I promise you I'm gonna bring the same shit. So I don't care about one particular player over the other one. I can care about my team. And if you attack one particular player, then I feel obligated to defend my player on my team. But so that's what I mean. So I'm not a Tourneer. I'm a Dolphiner.
Big Nick, that means you have no desire to upgrade positions on the team.
That doesn't mean that. That means that to you. That means that to you. That means I'm gonna put my I'm gonna tell you what that means. That means I'm gonna put my dick in the girl I brought to the hotel.
Big Nick, let me ask you a question, Big Nick. Let me ask you a question, right? Deshaun Elliott, when that news broke, right? When he came on Twitter and he said, "Oh, Lamar, come play in Miami," or "Lamar, come to Miami," right? And everybody got in an uproar, right? Did it upset you, Big Nick? When you seen that, did it upset you?
It didn't. I swear to God, it didn't on my kids.
Okay, okay, that's fair. But now, look, can you also?
I'm holding my son. I swear to God, on his life, it didn't upset.
I'm not questioning that, Big Nick. I'm not going to question that, Big Nick. Listen, that's your opinion. Can we be fair though, Big Nick? Did you hear? Again, you're part of this community. Did you hear the uproar that it caused in the community? Could you agree with that?
I did.
Okay, let me ask you this, Big Nick, in your opinion, right? If Deshaun Elliott, that same guy that made that statement, would have said, if the tweet would have said, "Hey, Orlando Brown Jr., please come to Miami," do you think the fan base would have gotten an uproar?
Well, okay,
no.
So
no. I'm asking you.
Wait, Lewis. The fan base, and this isn't the bullshit answer. I try to be as transparent as you guys, as I can possibly be to you guys, right? I try to tell you guys, like, my world exists outside of just YouTube when it comes to this shit. So me and the buddies that I love that talk about the Dolphins, that we fucking go out to this park and we set up miles of TVs and we watch this shit and we love this shit. The majority of my buddies, when we saw that, we understood exactly what that fucking text means. It didn't mean come replace our quarterback. It means shit. They don't want to pay you. Come down here, bro. We'll get you paid. Like, it's so many dynamics into that. I didn't look at that as come replace Tour. I look at shit. Come down here and eat. Come down here with me. I'm your buddy. I'm your friend. And I think that type of shit happens all the time. But it depends on what the narrative you want to push.
He said come to the Dolphins, not come to Miami.
I understand that. Come to the Dolphins. Come get paid. I'm telling my dogs.
Oh, you mean actually eat like on in the metaphorical sense,
come get
not
paid,
like come have dinner with me. All right, I got you.
I think it's a cultural thing too, and I'm sorry to say that, but I do think it's a cultural thing. I think most people that I'm around that look like me that understood that, then take it as come take my quarterback job. Is come get this money down here with us. Come be with us. Come be with you.
But he's a quarterback, and to get that money, he'd have to replace the one we got.
Again, the disconnect is you think he meant football. I think he meant I'm looking out for my partner.
No.
I think.
No. They're friends and teammates.
Play football.
No, they've been friends and teammates.
This is something that I haven't been able to do. No one has ever been able to do. I mean, I'm from Mars and you guys are from Venus. So it's hard for me to understand, to get you to understand through my lenses what I see. I can't, because you're going to think again. You're going to correlate it back. You're going to correlate it back to taking his job. With me, I'm gonna take it back to. I'm always go to. Shit, I'm gonna get my dog some money too. Come here and eat with me. That's what I'm gonna get.
Big Nick.
There's nothing you're gonna be able to do to change that about that.
Yeah, okay, but that's wrong though. And again, this is another scenario, Big Nick.
Right, hold on, Lewis.
It ain't about football. Lamar already comes down here.
Is it wrong, or do you believe it's wrong?
No. I believe it's wrong, but it's
okay, that's fine.
You know it's wrong. Fine. But Nick, Big Nick, you know it's wrong. Listen, here's another
I don't
scenario.
know it's wrong.
Hey, check it out, Big Nick. Check it out. Because no. You're the one that's saying, though, you would protect any player that dons the Dolphin jersey. Right? And in this fan base, right, when Deshaun Elliott made those statements, people said, well, that guy needs to be smarter. He just got here. He hasn't even played a down for Miami. He can't be saying that. Okay, perfect. Do we remember last year when we signed Tyreek Hill? Tyreek Hill was down here, never played a snap for Miami, never had put on that jersey, and he was recruiting Kareem Hunt to come down here to take not only Miles Gaskin's job that was already here, not Salvin Ahmed's job that was already down here. Raheem Mostert that had already signed. Nobody had a problem.
I do want to vouch for Big Nick that he's always been in support of Miles Gaskin and not let people trash him. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Color. Hold on, Big Nick.
I was this years old when I heard about that. This is the first time, so I don't know how to address that.
Well, no, but again,
I was today's years old when I found out about that.
Okay, Big Nick, that's fine. You just found out about it now. What I'm trying to illustrate in this whole thing that we're doing here, right?
You guys can't see how speak from an individual standpoint.
Big Nick. But when people always say, and this is one of the things that I've heard you say, right? It always comes back to Tua. Because Tua's the only one that gets all these goddamn excuses. Tua's the only one that everybody will listen. I've said this before. I know people in this fan base, and it's sad to say, they will kill their own mama for Tua. They will kill their own mama. And this is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what other player or what other coach, you will kill them. Everybody can get it on this football team.
Hey,
right?
Lewis.
And the hypocrisy is, if anybody, me, Culler, Shake, Crypto, even you, Big Nick, if you came out here later on this stream and you said anything negative about Tua, people would lose their fucking mind. And why? That's the question.
This is what I'm going to say to you. And I know this is going to piss your ass off right here. But this is going to end this circular conversation. When it comes to information about the team, who am I going to rely on, Lewis or the Miami Dolphin organization?
Appeal to authority. It ain't going to work around these parts, Big Nick.
So I love you, Lewis. You my dog.
That's an appeal to authority fallacy, and I ain't letting you get away with it, bro. I know what a damn good cheeseburger looks like. I ain't got to be a chef, man.
We'll go fight together, Lewis. But when it comes to that shit, I'm gonna take the word over Chris Grill.
I'm sorry, bro. That is an appeal to authority fallacy. We all know what a good cheeseburger tastes like. We ain't got to be a 5-star chef, man.
All right, well, it is what it is, man. Shit, I don't. Hey, you know what?
Exactly.
Hey,
especially when that so-called 5-star chef is burning the plate.
You have a right to appeal to authority.
I never had a gourmet hamburger, so I don't know that color. That's my life goal is the gourmet.
You ain't gonna let nobody else make a cheeseburger for your baby girl besides yourself, right?
That's my life goal, to have a gourmet cheeseburger. I just want to taste one. I'm tired of watching this shit.
Where do you live? Where do you live?
Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Culler,
there ain't nobody making a gourmet burger over there.
I don't know how gourmet burger. I don't know who makes gourmet burgers. Period.
Hey, Culler,
there's a few down there.
Can you bring up S. Harris's last comment?
Yeah.
If I went to Florida all the time, I would bring you.
Right here. Hold on, Caslin, right here. Lewis, your boys just gave Derek Carr and Lamar Jackson every excuse in the world earlier. I can just speak for myself because it said Lewis. I wasn't up here, and I didn't hear no excuses for Lamar. What I heard were facts being spewed about Lamar. You might think of them as excuses. The facts of the matter are, when I was up here, I can only address when I was up here. When the words of Lamar's never had no weapons, he's never had no weapons like that, right? S. Harris, I seen you in the comment section earlier saying, Culler, asking Culler to bring up Lamar Jackson's defense. Did you hear me respond to that? There's no reason to respond. Baltimore's had a great defense. But when I was up here, when they were making it saying, well, Lamar's never had no weapons and stuff, again, offensively, bro, he's never had no weapons. And as far as Derek Carr, I don't know who said anything about Derek Carr. I'm not even considering Derek Carr. In my opinion, just so I can finish to ask Harris, in my opinion, I believe Tua is better than Derek Carr. But if you want me to sit here and believe that Tua Tagovailoa is better than Lamar Jackson, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, because that is not the case.
Do you guys ever talk about the warts? Do you guys ever talk about Lamar's warts though? Ever? Do you ever talk about his warts? Ever?
His who? His wins above replacement?
No, his flaws. He means his flaws.
You say his what?
His warts. His
flaws.
deficiencies. His
his
deficiencies.
flaws.
Warts. W-A-R-T-S. Warts.
F-A-W. Flaws.
Warts. With the W. Like a wart on your hand.
W.
Like a witch's wart.
Or like a.
His warts. His deficiencies. Right. Like,
the wart.
Do you guys ever talk
he
about
throws a little too sidearm for my taste.
Yes.
You guys never talk about it. You never talk about him.
Hold on. He throws a little too sidearm for my taste.
He has a slow ass delivery.
He does wind up a little long, sure.
A little long, Culler. Stop it. Fuck you, Culler.
Let's see.
I think he looks to run too fast.
God, I can't really think of much else, man.
He tucks and runs first. Well, that's his first instinct.
That's what I was wondering. Did he tuck and run too quickly before you're away?
Well, it's better than throwing the ball anyway.
Well, no. What I'm saying but his first instinct is still to run. It's not.
I mean, look, if you're saying the man is no more capable of reading defenses than Tua, and his choice is to tuck and run instead of throw the ball at quadruple coverage anyway, then
I'm going to give him.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to give him
the first
better.
time in my life. Hold on. That has to be the first time in my life I've ever seen an NFL quarterback throw into quadruple coverage. I didn't even think quadruple coverage was possible.
Who did that?
That's something I will always say.
Who did that?
I'll never say that Lamar can't read the defense
Enough people
better
that I
than
can't remember. You saying who did it? Tua did it.
Oh, it was a completion. It was a completion.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
I said it was.
And to be fair, talking about the Derek Carr situation, I'm probably part of it. All the things I brought up weren't excuses; they were all facts.
Hey, Culler, I'm
never
back,
had a top defense.
Is that if I come back?
Sure, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Hey,
I got to do something real quick.
I've been on here almost an hour, Culler. I haven't argued about 201.
I enjoy the show, man. I enjoy the show very much, man.
Culler, I haven't argued about 201. Can you believe that?
My problem is you guys keep
what you talk about?
I haven't argued about 201.
I wanted to thank the 85 people continuing to watch right now. Appreciate every one of you. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're sharing, and make sure you're subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you know when we're coming live to complain about Tua. And
give me my flowers. I haven't argued about 201.
Hey, what's to argue about? Ain't no argument.
You can't pull me in, bro. I'm not arguing about him no more.
I just have this people say he can't read defenses. That's bullshit.
Hey, Big Nick. Honestly, bro, come on, man. Let me talk. Let me ask you something, man. You're a Dolphin fan, right? Wow, Nick. All right. All agreements aside, man. You're a Dolphin fan, right? And you sound pretty much. You sound pretty much my age, man. You know. Wouldn't you like to see our team competitive, man, in the East? If not win it, man. I mean, competitive against any team.
So I've seen that many a times, but I guess you're referring to this current team. And I'm going to answer that question with this. Tua been healthy all year. We're not competitive.
No. In my opinion.
Then I don't know how to respond to you. I don't know how to respond to you then.
I don't either. I agree, yes, Big Nick, we are.
I don't know how to respond to you then.
Look, let me tell you like this, Nick. Let me tell you what I think, man.
A fucking 10, gentlemen.
respond to that.
Have to have some ability to improvise in the NFL to
Just become best friends. Yep.
understand.
Sorry, Fred.
It's okay, Culler, man.
I don't
I'm
know how
just,
to respond to that, Fred.
Nick, all I want is for our team to be competitive, no matter who they play. No, they aren't. No, they aren't.
Last year, the fourth quarter, they only down by one score every fourth quarter last year. That's not competitive.
Hey, everybody, welcome Skull Snap 3R.
Hey,
I'm not sure we've ever met before. Appreciate you coming up,
we
man.
just lost by 3 points in the playoff game.
And don't you know? Hey, can I let me say something else, please? Signing Lamar Jackson, bro, automatically puts us in the playoffs. I think automatically.
We're already in the playoffs.
Automatically in the playoffs.
Playoff team. Let's say that it doesn't guarantee you anything.
We're already a playoff team.
No, why do you say that? Because we limped in last year. We got big help. We got help from the schedule because they added one more game to the schedule. That's the only reason we made it.
But that makes us a playoff team.
The only reason we made it is because they added one more game to the schedule.
Okay, but we made it. So what can he?
Ain't got shit on me.
We're already there.
Greg, you make it sound like the only
We're
way
not guaranteed.
we're going to be competitive.
We're not guaranteed.
And 9-8, and 9-8, we're already there, huh?
They didn't make it the last 2 years.
9-8, we're already there.
They didn't make it the last 2 years.
Hold on, put that in context. 9-8 with 4.5 games missed by our quarterback. Our defense played like shit the first half of the year.
With 6 starters missing.
First year in an offensive system. 5 quarterbacks went down the beginning of the season.
He missed the same amount of games the previous year, and we had the same record. Stop it.
He didn't miss the same. He missed 3 games the previous year.
And there's a
No,
lot
the
of
prior to the year before that, he missed the same amount of games.
Hey,
okay.
And you know,
but we made it to the playoffs.
Hey, what's Tua's record? What's Tua's
record? He has
record?
a winning record. He has a winning record.
Yeah, it was 13-8 before.
What, 8-5?
23-13. Look at the other
8-5.
Look at
Tua's record. Tua's career record is 8-5.
23-13. He's 10 games over. He's 10 games over 500.
What do you get to 23?
He's 23-13.
He's 21-13.
I'll tell you right now.
I'm
21-13. Okay. I've seen. Okay, now let me say this. I've seen games where the defense won 5 games for him. You understand me?
So that gives him.
I literally seen
by your math. That gives him 14 games he won.
Win 5 games.
That gives him 17 games he's won.
So what's his record? 17-13.
You seen 5 games won by the defense, right?
I've seen 5 games that the defense won into his career. At least 5.
How many did the defense lose?
So out of the games that the defense didn't win, that means Tua has a winning record over that.
Defense lost to Jacksonville.
Okay. Then what's that add out to his record to be then? I was 17-14, 17-13. What?
I think what Fred's really trying to say is,
What are you waiting for, huh?
We're not guaranteed a playoff spot.
So Fred.
Yes, we are. Yes,
Fred.
we are.
No, we're not.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Go ahead.
No,
I'm listening.
So Fred, by your math, Tua didn't. The defense let us down against Detroit. The defense let us down against Chicago. The defense let us down against Baltimore. The defense let us down against Buffalo.
Against bum teams too.
Because they didn't win those games. The defense didn't win any of these games I'm naming.
You're right.
So
The defense didn't win any of them games. The defense didn't win any of them games, man.
No,
not single-handedly. They shut the opponents down the second half of those games.
Because of the defense, we was losing those games.
I tell you like this.
Oh my God! You're just gonna skim over that. You're just gonna don't fix the narrative.
No, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I seen them games. I seen him in Tua. He did. I mean, he did his thing to the Lions, the Bears, and the Browns.
Why don't you bring up those games? Why you bring up the games the defense won? Why you don't bring up those games?
Okay, he won those games. Okay, I'm not asking you that. Hold on.
I'm not asking you that, Fred.
Lions, Tigers, Bears. Oh my!
Why didn't you lead with that, Fred? Why didn't you lead with that?
When Tua, those 3 weeks right there when I watched Tua, and I'm like, oh yeah, Tua doing his thing now. He's finally coming around. Okay, Tua was that dude. But then 3 games after that, nothing.
Okay. Nothing. He didn't play. He wasn't playing.
What do you mean he wasn't playing? He played the whole month of December.
What are you talking about?
It was 2 bad games he had in a row. San Fran and LA. And quarterbacks
Green Bay, and then he had a 50 QBR rating against Buffalo.
Wait a minute. Did he play a bad game against Green Bay, or did he play a bad half against Green Bay?
Don't forget that
he single-handedly lost the game. It's a
bad game.
Oh, he single-handedly lost the game. He single-handedly lost the game. So I
yeah, it's a bad game.
So we was in the cover 0. We was in the cover 0 at 3rd and 15 against Aaron Rodgers in a crucial moment of the game.
And you had a 10-point lead. Y'all like to shit on Justin Herbert about blowing a 27-point lead. We blew a 10-point lead against the Packers.
Man, who gives a shit about Justin Herbert?
Got the Waddle fumble.
So y'all want to blame the quarterback for that loss? So you can blame the quarterback for the Green Bay loss.
I don't care about that team. Who gives a shit?
Okay, just be consistent.
I'm consistent with my team. Fuck that team. Fuck that team. I'm consistent with my team.
All right, that's fine.
Fuck Justin.
I'm just saying, as long as y'all don't use them arguments.
Fuck Justin Herbert. I don't give a fuck about Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, none of them. Fuck them.
Can I ask you a question?
You know why? Because you know why? Because there was no comparison to neither one of them quarterbacks, bro.
Because when Kansas City
no comparison to neither one.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. So you guys are missing
they didn't come to Biscayne Boulevard. They didn't come to Biscayne when they won a Super Bowl.
Answering Big Nick's questions. So I'm gonna help answer it this way. Okay. This is why, Big Nick, nobody credits Tua or talks about good games against those teams.
But I don't
this
care.
Is the list, okay? And I've currently got it itemized for total yards per game against. Who's at the bottom of this list?
Detroit.
I don't know.
You got the Chicago Bears, the Houston Texans, Minnesota Vikings, and Detroit Lions. Okay. Now, if I switch over to points per game allowed and itemize it by that, you've got the Houston Texans, Detroit Lions, Colts, Vikings, Cardinals, and coming in last, the Chicago Bears. So what you're telling me, Big Nick, and I'm not saying that you don't have to beat the teams in front of you. What I'm saying is you're expecting me talking to another Dolphin fan. It'd be one thing if I was talking to a Bills fan and saying, hey, he did this and that and the other against the Bears. But talking to another Dolphin fan, you're expecting me to basically praise the mailman for delivering the mail.
No, but can I reverse that around?
Like it is
we do a good job delivering mail, Culler. We want credit for delivering the mail.
Can I flip that around, Culler? And I think me flipping around is going to answer that. You know, is the only way that I can answer it. Do you expect me to give our defense the credit for beating those same teams you're talking about?
Not necessarily.
So not necessarily then. It goes both ways, Culler. It goes both ways.
To the 49ers, the Chargers, and the Packers when those games were crucial.
Crucial games. Crucial.
Okay, I got a question for you. You guys admit that Tua was balling out against those teams that you just
If
said.
Baltimore loses to
Bullshit,
Cincinnati,
Ron. We struggled against those teams.
Jesus Christ.
okay. So
Against
what you
what?
guys want me to do? You guys want me to say fuck Tua and
Against
still root
what?
for my team to win the Super Bowl?
Nah, man.
No, just stop.
just
No, but you got to realize. But you're insinuating that certain people are just straight haters because
I didn't say that. I never said that. You're saying no, Culler. I never said that.
Let me ask him this question, bro. Guys,
No, but you're putting a bad assertion on me. Why should I let him finish something that's a bad assertion about me?
But this is why. But this is why when you come around, you're normally hearing everybody talk about Tua. This is why.
Yeah.
Again, it has nothing to do with Tua. That's all you guys allow me to defend. I would love to defend Noah Igbenogany. I would love to.
But you're shitting on the defense now, Big Nick.
I'm not. I'm not.
You Big Nick, but you are. Think about it. Think about what you're saying. Let me just throw this at you, Big Nick.
I'm just using what he said against him, Lewis.
Okay, well, let me use what you said against you then, Big Nick.
Okay.
Right? Tua played great week 2 against Baltimore in the fourth quarter, throwing 4 touchdowns, right? It was fucking amazing. Yeah. I never thought he was going to be able to do that. But in the same, and again, I'll give you that. He played great in that fourth quarter. But you know what made it even more special about that comeback? Is the defense not allowing no points in the fourth quarter. Because if the defense that you were just trashing and saying never showed up, right? That same defense gives up 3 points. You don't win that game.
I never said that, Lewis.
Good point, Lou.
I'm just saying.
Same with Buffalo. Same with Buffalo.
Same thing with Detroit. Detroit after halftime. Detroit after halftime did not score a point.
Okay, Lewis.
You see what I'm saying? So yes, Tua played great, but the defense did help him.
I don't see what you're saying. I'm gonna tell you why I don't see what you're saying, because you guys are putting assertions on me that I don't feel I didn't say. All I was saying was this man came up and said he's going to give the defense 5 wins, right? He's going to give the defense 5 wins. I turned around and I gave him instances where the defense put us in the hole. Why aren't he talking? Why isn't he talking?
Again,
I didn't trash the defense.
Again, Big Nick, you're
you're
ignoring the fact that the offense in those quarters and didn't do anything. Put our defense in a bad position.
Hey Nick, I'm just trying to ask, can you just imagine the
possibility? Always
possibility?
conveniently ignore that fact.
Did the defense,
our offense goes 3 and out 4 times before we score.
Hey,
can you just imagine the possibility, Big Nick? Big Nick,
I
Big
think
Nick.
Connor Williams is the best center in football. I want to talk about that. I think Connor Williams is the best center in football.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question real quick?
I think he's solid.
Hey Fred, you admit
I think Bethel is the best special teamer in football.
Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry. Ron's been trying to speak. Go ahead, Ron.
Even guys who don't seem to believe in Tua, you guys admit he was playing good ball before he got hurt, correct?
Let me think about that a second. Let me think about that a second.
Yes. We've all said that, Ron. Yes, he was playing good football.
So here's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering why you guys can't see him taking it another step next year, second year in the offense, another year in the NFL, maybe an improved offensive line. Why you can't see him playing better against the better teams now?
Hey, Ron.
Because
hold on.
December 1st moving forward.
Hold on, but let me respond to Ron.
That's why.
Ron, you make an excellent point, and I agree with you, right? See, I'm not going to be like everybody else. I can agree with that, Ron. But in the same token, why can't you and the people? And I'm not coming at you. I'm just saying how you said the non-believers in Tua. So why is it then that the believers in Tua cannot also tell people like me, right, that when I come out and say, okay, well, I think Tua's going to be better in the second year in this offense, but I do think Tua's going to miss 5 to 6 games this year because all I've seen, which is proven, is Tua can't stay healthy. All I've seen is Tua. Can you? Like I said, Ron, I acknowledge to your point. I think he's going to be better. Can you acknowledge that Tua, regardless of the fact this year, Tua is going to be injured? Can you admit that?
That's a legitimate argument. I hope that he doesn't, but yeah.
Okay, exactly. Just like we can hope that he can get better, but when we talk about the second year in this offense, and we just say, he is going to get better, well then don't get mad. Then when people like me come out and say, well, the reason we had to go get Mike White is because Tua can't stay his happy ass on the fucking field.
Okay, but Lewis, let me jump in this, and I'm done. Let me jump in. I gotta go. Let me just jump in real quick. I gotta go.
I'm not getting mad. I'm just trying to understand. What it is that you're seeing that I'm not seeing. That's all.
But hold on, let me jump in here. I want to ask Lewis an honest question. Lewis, now when you say that, right? When you say that, that's a legitimate argument. How many arguments, honestly, Lewis? How many arguments do you have about his availability?
That's the only argument I have been having, Big Nick.
Well, those are two people. Stop arguing. Stop arguing about that.
I'm not. I'll wave the white flag on
availability.
That's not my argument. My argument's never been availability. I've always waved the white flag on his availability. He will miss 4 to 5 games.
I will argue with Crypto.
It's about consistency.
I will argue with Crypto, but I wouldn't argue with you about availability. I have no control over that, neither does no one else. But ability, I argue about
I've already cashed in my chips on his availability. It's about the last 10 games of the season. Don't have a post-December games for me like that. That's all I'm asking for. My barrier for Tua is a lot lower than everybody else's. Talking about the availability. Because to me, he lost that one.
Right.
All he got to do is be consistent for the last 10 games of the season, and that's enough for me.
Here's the issue.
Can we also say,
Big Nick, before you go, I just want to say, here's the real issue for me is that list I brought up earlier. When you start scrolling to the top of that list, okay, all of a sudden. Okay, with the way our offense and our team is constructed, we should just as well be beating those teams as well as the ones at the bottom of the list. And we're not doing that.
Right.
We just aren't.
Right, we're not.
So Culler, and
not
sports,
in the second
Culler,
half of the season like we should.
In sports,
have a good last 10 games of the season.
Hold on, let him answer.
All you got to do.
Whether you guys know this or not, but it may seem like an excuse or whatever, but it's a real fucking phenomenon. People do have the tendency of playing up or down to their level of competition.
You're right, but great quarterbacks don't.
So that's not true. That's not true.
I don't know, man.
Aaron Rodgers did it the whole year last year. Aaron Rodgers did it the whole year last year. My
opinion, man.
I wouldn't say the whole year.
The whole year.
He didn't play down to us.
Hold on, Crypto.
Yes, he did.
Crypto, just man to man.
Aaron Rodgers had a horrible game against us.
Big Nick, just you and me, man to man.
He still won.
That's one of those things that I consider to separate good from great.
And
to be honest,
I would say Aaron Rodgers. I would say Aaron Rodgers played up to us. I would say he played down. He played up to us. Crypto.
One other thing before you go, Big Nick, I am going to be doing a show coming soon, and I hope you get a chance to see it's on. Everybody, make sure you hit your notification bell.
Yeah, man.
I am going to be steel manning Tua. I am going to make the case for Tua better than Tua Nears do it. And I would invite you to actually steel man the answer to a position if you would be interested in doing that. So I'm just letting you know what I'm doing, and I'm giving you an invite to actually steel man me. Like if you aren't into Tua, you see what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna steel man Tua, whether you choose to bite on that invite or not. But the invite is open. I think that would be epic to hear you argue against Tua and me argue for him. But that's how you're supposed to do things in real debates and real conversation and communication. You know what I mean? So
take the opposing argument.
You're willing, man.
It's not just his availability to me, man, but his performance too, man. You got these two things going for me, man. One, the availability, and the other, the performance. Now we're going to be. Listen to me. Hold on, Nick. Hold on, Nick. Hold on. So now we're going to be coming back with the same McDaniel offense that these teams already know Already know.
See you later, Culler. Love you guys. Fins up. Fred going to talking nonsense now.
Yeah, all right.
Fred's going to talking nonsense now.
Bye, Nick.
Hey, Lewis,
Bye, Nick.
I think. Hey, Lewis, I think. I got to work out on my platform. I've said this shit many times, but I really do be busy. I think Nick and Lewis need a platform, a Dolphins, and bring the heat like fucking First Take. Cause I think we don't get. I don't think we get personal with each other. But I think I will call your take bullshit, and I have no problem with that. And I think you'll do the same thing with me. And I think that'll make great content.
Hey, you just need to open your eyes. Now get on out of here.
Listen, Big Nick, in all fairness, I know we had our run-ins, but again, I am a subscriber to your channel. I do think you do great work.
I appreciate it.
And again, the dialogue and stuff, like what we do like this, like we did today, helps stuff, never getting personal. It's a beautiful thing, that Big Nick.
Right,
I appreciate it.
And again, I try not to convince nobody. Everybody is a grown person. They can make their own decisions. Decisions come with experience on your own personal life experience. I just try to bring a different perspective. That's all. I just try to. But for Fred, for you to sit up there honestly say. Honestly, in the games that if Tua would have played those games, that we still wouldn't have been competitive. That's crazy to me.
I'm telling you like this:
if Tua would have played those games, we'd have won the Super Bowl.
If he ain't getting yanked out of games, he's pulling himself out.
Hey, you don't get to celebrate, buddy. You do not get to celebrate. I'm gonna call your ass out.
I celebrate life, bro.
You ain't gonna get to celebrate the Dolphins. I'm gonna call you out. It's gonna be a miserable. You better have me on the panel. We win. If Fred is on this panel. If we win and Fred is on this panel, y'all gonna kick me off this panel because I'm not gonna allow this man to celebrate with me.
Oh my goodness.
Fins up, y'all be safe. Get safe, man.
Take it easy, man.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, Mr. Polk? How you doing, Mr. Polk?
I was going to call Ron, Lewis, Crypto, Fred.
Yeah. I thought you were going to
can't see the last one. Can't see the last one. How's everybody doing?
Good,
Mr. Polk.
What's the subject?
I want to kick back to what Ron
Pretty
was saying
hot down here, Mr. Polk. I ain't gonna lie, man.
The subject.
What's that color?
It's pretty hot down here. I ain't gonna lie.
The subject, Mr. Polk, is Tua. Yeah. That's the subject.
Oh, good.
Well, no. Well, Ron said earlier he thinks that this offense is going to be better this year. Well, I could cut back on that and say what makes him think that because
defenses get comfortable in the same system, they get better at it.
Hold on. But I could also say he can get worse.
3 years instead of 2 weeks. Why are you better 3 years than you were in the first year?
What's the big change on the offense?
Also,
from what I'm seeing, look like the offense is about
we have the same exact offense. We have the same exact offense, and that's not saying
it's not going to change things. After
the same exact offense that was shut down the last 6 games in the season
last year. That's what I'm starting to see.
That was the offense that was shut down 6 weeks last year.
Well, hold on.
Hold
so
on,
now
nobody
let's say
just make that guess. You're just making a guess if that's what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Right. Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. But okay, what about the teams that we play? You don't think that they're going to know how to play us now?
Of course.
Seeing that.
They've been watching the film.
Yeah, and obviously everybody has to make adjustments. That's why we're making defense better too.
So how is that?
They're not.
How can you say
face last year either?
Right, but how can you say that the offense is going to be better this year?
Just because you scheme up a way to stop somebody doesn't mean you're going to. If their offense executes with their speed, they're still going to be successful.
I don't really see
that's not true.
I got some pushback on that. The only way to counter that, if you ask me, is if your quarterback's got it in him to go out there and do that off-script shit to counter that. That's the only way you're going to handle that.
No, you make
something off-script.
take charge
and
of the
make it
game
happen.
and change the situation on the offense.
There you go. There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
That's what I've been waiting for Tua to do. All I see is flashes of him doing that.
Oh, we all forget, Ron, that the defense's job is to disrupt what the offense is doing. They're going to accomplish that 50% of the time overall. It's what your quarterback does in that 50% that they disrupt stuff.
And what he can do, and what he can't do. Thank you, Colin. Good point. Thank you.
The narrative will be, okay, we know that they're not going to run the ball, or they're not going to run the ball successfully as well. So we need to have two.
How do you know that? Because they ran the ball successfully last year. They just didn't do it enough.
Yeah, we don't know that. They could be averaging 5 yards
And
in the run game. That's cool.
And McDaniel acknowledged that he should have stuck with the run in certain situations. So the fact that he knows that he knows he's a first-year coach, he's got a lot to learn.
I think it's ironic that the coach was apologizing for not running, for getting away from the run in the first place.
And when
He's literally apologizing for building a West Coast system. You all don't see through that apology? Like, seriously. He's
right, but he was also labeled.
He is doing the right thing as a coach and falling on the sword there. Because to apologize for getting away from the run is literally apologizing for building a West Coast system in the first place.
I don't.
Yeah, West Coast offense supposed to move the ball.
Yeah, but they still run the ball too, West Coast offense. I mean, I remember Roger Craig running all over us. So, and that was the original West Coast offense. So, I mean,
that doesn't mean that they were worried about whether they had Roger Craig or not.
No, but all I'm saying is the running game is still.
Roger Craig caught just as many passes in the flat as he took handoffs.
Yes, he did. And that's another thing.
Right.
Tua mentioned that he didn't go to the check down because of all the narrative he wasn't pushing the ball. And last year, there were many times he should have used the check down.
Yeah, like instead of throwing into quadruple coverage.
Correct.
Yeah.
But these are encouraging things.
That's one thing
in the league in history to ever throw into quadruple coverage.
That would be a part of his growth in year 2 in this offense.
The fact that they're recognizing and addressing it is encouraging that they're going to be able to coach it out next year.
Bro, but Ron, when you're throwing into to quadruple coverage, bro, something that I don't believe any other quarterback has done in history.
Well,
you're probably be fixed by learning more over in the next offseason.
But you know what, Ron? But you know what? But
hold on, Fred. Why couldn't Pat White get better in another offseason? Why couldn't Josh Rosen get better in another offseason? Why couldn't anybody get better in another offseason?
Yeah, but Culler, listen.
Why couldn't John Beck get better?
Those guys were never playing at the level 2.
Damn, Mr.
That is a complete
John Beck.
platitude.
Got to do it against
that is a complete platitude.
He's got to do it more consistently and against better competition.
That is a complete platitude. None of them guys ever had the weapons that we had on offense this year.
None of them.
Yes.
None of them.
And I know you don't believe it, but I think the talent that Tua has for accuracy, anticipation, pocket presence.
Y'all are doing exactly what we knew would happen. We get all these weapons. You frame the narrative before we get them to say, well, don't you all dare claim that it's because of the weapons is why Tua improved. We said we're not going to do that. We're going to wait and see. And Tua gets better. Tua's numbers go up. And it's so blatantly obvious that they're force feeding the ball to 2 receivers. And we're not allowed to say, hey, these other guys that couldn't get better, man, they would have never gotten any better with those same receiving core and whatever else. It's like, no, you're not getting away with that. Nobody.
Hey, you know what?
I mean, how many
Ron?
How many times do you have to move the goal for Tua? How many times do I have to keep moving
You
the
tell
goal?
me how much better would Tua get this year if he was with the Baltimore Ravens?
I have been steadfast in what I've been saying about Tua. I'm not changing any goalposts.
I'm just saying.
I critique
Ron, in your opinion, how much better would Tua get this offseason if he spent the offseason in Baltimore?
In a new offense, he's not going to get better.
Well, let's say McDaniel and the whole crew goes there with him.
Well, then why wouldn't he get better?
I mean, you're deflecting the question,
I'm not
bro.
deflecting the question.
You know what the question
it's
is.
an important piece of it. No, in my opinion, that's important to me. I've preached this a million times, Culler.
Okay, so who in Baltimore would have provided 2,000 receiving yards for
Oh,
Tua?
I'm not arguing with you that he would not have had the season without Tyreek Hill.
I'm waiting on an answer to the question. Who in Baltimore would provide 2,000 receiving yards for Tua?
Not those receivers.
Nobody. I just said he would not have had that season without Tyreek Hill.
Maybe 1,100 at the most.
Ron, I'm not trying to be argumentative here. I'm asking the question for a reason.
Right.
Okay. Because we're not going to ignore this anymore.
No.
Not on my show.
I'm not. I know I'm not.
Be ignored that Josh Allen sucked until he got Stephon Diggs.
I'm not talking about Josh Allen.
All I'm saying
I'm asking you which receiver on Baltimore would have provided 2,000 yards for Tua.
I said none 3 times.
Hey, Ron, I just want the Dolphins to win, man. You know, but and look, Ron, like Ron, it's going to be. It's going to be tough for us this season, man, because it's going to be tough for us this season. Because there are some of us that want to see Tua sit in the pocket, pick teams apart. Some of us want to see him get out of there, make something happen. But all in all, man, we're just going to come down to it. We're going to be holding our breath, whether he runs to get out the pocket or whether he sits there in the pocket. He's going to get hurt, man.
Hold on. Another question leading down the same path, Ron. Which receiver, since Tyreek got over 2,000 yards this season, right? Did he make 2,000? I don't remember.
1,700.
Okay, 1,700. Okay.
How many targets did he have?
Which receiver replaced those numbers, provided the 1,700 yards to Patrick Mahomes, considering Patrick threw for 5,200 yards last year?
Well,
without Tyreek Hill, without the guy that caught for 1,700 on our team.
He spread it around.
Pacheco.
Spread it around. Okay. Then why did our quarterback not spread it around?
Hey, Culler, how many targets did Tyreek have, man? Do you know?
No, probably like 130 something targets.
130 something targets.
And I would argue
I think don't quote me on it.
Around because
I think it was.
Waddle followed it up with 1,000 plus yards, did he not?
Yeah, he had 1,300.
Correct.
In fact, Tua was doing that at Alabama.
Waddle had about 1,300.
So why is
18 yards per catch.
So why is it, given that both defenses were 1 point away from each other in how many points they gave up, why is it that what is the separating factor as to why the Chiefs scored 29 points per ball game and we only scored 24?
There's 2 factors. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, and Andy Reid. Andy Reid against first-year Mike McDaniel head coach is going to win 99% of the time. Patrick Mahomes against Tua is going to win 99% of the time. I can't argue that.
Okay, fair enough.
We can't have that, man. We can't have Mahomes going to win against Tua 99% of the time, man. We can't have that.
But here's what I shouldn't have said.
Because he's not a young whippersnapper. He's here to stay. He's going to be here to the year 2037 at least.
I said that because it's not Patrick Mahomes against Tua. It's Patrick Mahomes against our defense. So, I mean, and it's Tua against their defense. But if it's a close game near the end, yeah, you got to give Mahomes.
We were compared. Wait a minute. See, this is where I'm not going to let you get away with this either. Because the reason I brought up all these and asked all these questions is because we were considering Tua to be productive.
Yeah.
In other words, we were continuing to deny the fact that the receiving core is really truly where that production came from.
Well, it's a combination, yes.
How is it a combination?
Because you still got to throw him the ball.
Yeah.
And he did accurately.
And how many of those yards came from how many of those 1,700 yards came from Teddy Bridgewater?
I really no, the 1,700. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, how many yards did Teddy Bridgewater throw for against Minnesota?
I think it was 600. I think he gave.
He had over 360 yards.
Yeah, it was 600 yards to Tyreek Hill because Tyreek Hill had his best games with Teddy Bridgewater as quarterback.
Tua threw for 3,400. So.
Right.
Right, but Tyreek Hill had his best games receiving when Teddy Bridgewater was quarterback.
That's not true. He had his best game against the Ravens.
Right, his single game was against the Ravens, but he had 170
Teddy threw
plus
for
yard game
329
against,
yards
Bengals.
against Minnesota, 193 against Cincinnati,
and a half,
and 161 against New England.
And what did Tyreek get in those games?
Let's see.
Tyreek in that Minnesota game had over 100 yards.
Yeah, we should have won that game.
Because Skyler also threw Tyreek some passes too. We had like 400 yards passing in that game.
That's right. Neither one of them played the full game. Teddy had to replace Skyler, and Skyler had to replace Teddy.
So yeah,
I'm not saying two.
Yeah, so
that's
Teddy
where Mike
actually had
McDaniel could come in and
one
get
whole
his
series
accolades
and still threw
Mike
for
McDaniel.
329 yards.
But my thing is, I'm just trying to
Tyreek against Minnesota. Against Minnesota, Tyreek had 177 yards.
There you go.
177 for Tyreek in Minnesota, right?
Against Minnesota, yep.
And he was averaging like
Cincinnati. Hold on. Against Cincinnati, he had 160.
Yeah, that's
and that was
his
just
highest.
Tua. The first half, some of that was from Tua.
Yeah, some.
Yeah, some of it was. The key is if everybody want to be a testament and Tyreek's influence on his offense.
On 7
there you go.
targets and 4 receptions against New England, he had 55 yards.
And Culler, in deference to what your point you're trying to make, I agree with you that Tyreek changed his offense. I mean, there's no question that Tua would not have had the season he had without Tyreek Hill. So I'm not saying that it was Tua had this miraculous, step leap without the weapons that he had.
Yeah, but the thing is,
so what the question was, where do you pull the guess from that anything is going to get better just because Tua gets better in camp?
Because McDaniel's going to have more experience as a head coach and with the offense, and so is the rest of the team. Second year in the system,
right? But what I'm trying to tell you is, do you honestly believe if we would have never brought Tyreek Hill in here and we would have kept Devontae Parker, are you saying that Devontae Parker would have had 1,700 yards last year?
Hell no.
Then that means that Tua did not improve one iota.
I would say if Devontae Parker was healthy all 17 games, yeah, he can get that easily.
He could, but what I'm saying is Tua going to deliver?
Never had a shot in hell to get that.
Listen. Tua and Waddle were open 75% of the time, so he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, it makes it easier when a receiver can get open, right?
He wouldn't even have used Parker.
It makes it easier when a receiver can get open, right?
Of course it is.
Right.
I'm not arguing with you, Carl. I'm agreeing with you. But
yeah, that's the way
you still
did that with Parker and Waddle.
In the ball, yes, it was easier.
Well, yeah,
but he still had to perform.
All I'm trying
Waddle
to say,
all I'm trying
to say is there has been zero improvement from Tua.
No, that's not.
Devontae Parker and Tyreek Hill and Waddle are two different types of receivers. One is a possession.
That's not
who goes up.
Improvement. Come on.
One goes up against the ball when you throw it up high. The other ones don't.
No, I push back.
Waddle and Hill doesn't give you a chance to defend
Parker was all right on slants. You can use Parker in slants, man.
But he still gets caught and dragged down.
Using slants all the time.
Y'all forget
doing it with
Parker has caught some of the most beautiful passes that Tua has thrown.
Absolutely.
And Parker is also he was leading the league.
Yeah, he has
2
to
years
caught
in a
that,
row.
but he's never scored touchdowns on those beautiful
Right,
passes.
but he's
And
also
you-
led the
and
league
plus he
for
was-
2 years in
though
a
is-
row
he-
for
My
contested
point
catches.
is that
his
Tua could
body
get the
catch
ball
the
to Devontae. He didn't have a problem with that.
Barker does not open up the rest of the field like Tyreek does.
Doesn't need to.
Exactly.
That's
He
not his-
doesn't create gravity. He doesn't create the
Right, but that's
gravity
not
in the
his job.
defensive
And who
intensity
benefited from
that
that?
defenses do.
And
He's a
which
big
player
body wide
benefited from that, Ron?
Tua did it, of course.
Thank you. That's all I wanted you to say.
I'm agreeing with you this whole time. I'm telling you that without Tyreek, he would not have that. But he still had to put the ball where it had to go. That's my point. He still had to perform.
Mm-hmm.
All quarterbacks put the ball where it's got to go.
If Skyler put the ball where it had to go 50% of the time in that playoff, we would have won the game.
Are you serious?
If Skyler would have
Are
threw
you
that ball,
serious?
if Skyler would have threw that ball in
He
there,
did.
where-
If Waddle would
where
have
he
caught it
wanted to
20% of the time extra,
if Skyler,
then we would have
if
won.
Skyler had thrown them balls, if Skyler had thrown them balls, we've been blown out because they would have been intercepted. Understand?
Right.
That's
We
why
would have been blown
That's
out.
why he was pulling. That's why he was pulling.
I don't like to do it, but I can understand why some people question whether people watch the games or not, man. Like,
Yeah,
seriously, I cannot
I
even
watch-
believe you made that statement just.
Yeah,
Come
I
on,
mean,
man.
he did get let down by
Given the freaking dimes that landed right in Waddle's hands.
you're right. Okay, you're right. His receivers did
And Gesicki.
Let's not
paying
forget
attention to the ball.
the clear 15-yard first down that Tyreek dropped.
He also dropped a pass in that game too.
That's
That was
four
big.
That's 4 completions right there.
Yeah.
You know what that would have made his
Drive
numbers?
killers.
22 for 45. Oh, not sounding so bad all of a sudden, are they?
That was we're 50%. See, we would have won the game.
Yeah.
And the drive's still going.
But you said a minute ago
No, you're
if
right.
Skyler
You're right.
would have thrown for
You're right.
more
I
than
put the blame-
50%.
I put the blame in the wrong place, Carl. You're right.
You didn't say if the receivers caught more than 50%.
Right.
You're right. You're right.
See, that's why
Yeah,
that's
that
what
extra
Lewis was
20%.
trying to say. We default to shitting on Skyler instead of shitting on the receivers because they're friends with Tua.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach. Thank you. Man,
I
you
said
said
that
the
before.
words right out my mouth.
I said that before.
Because I think
even said-
Skyler is
When to get out of
said-
his feels, you trade his friends. That's what you do. Just like in kindergarten when you have to separate the
Trade his
friends
friends.
because they won't stop gabbing.
Trade
Hey,
the friends
Culler,
away.
I would tell you, I've
Good
seen
luck with that endeavor. That's a
that
tough one.
game. That game, a playoff game with the Jets. I seen Skyler put a deep out to the sidelines to Waddle. It looked like Waddle tried to drop it to me and shit, but just didn't
Actually,
wanna
I
be
believe that
so
was
obvious
Tyreek,
with
Fred.
it.
I believe that was Tyreek, but I know exactly what pass you're talking about. Couldn't have thrown a more gorgeous pass.
Yeah. Jesus
By the way,
Christ.
I gotta do a special shout out because it's been a while.
Do it.
And I'll even let her have her a little. We'll let her give a crypto friendly comment. Carla Williams in the chat. Everybody, welcome Carla Williams. It's been a while.
Hey,
Probably
Carla.
been
What's up,
probably
Carla?
trying to
Hey, Carla.
There you go,
take a
Carla.
break to remember mental health after being involved with
Way to go,
Dolphins
caller.
community. So appreciate you coming. by, Carla. Always
Somebody put a statue of Caller out there. She just made
and
my
you
day
can
with that
commence
statement.
crapping on
Yeah,
colors.
I
Go ahead.
know she did. I know she did, Chris. I know she did.
On a different subject, you guys see the Zach Thomas interview in the fish tank?
No, I didn't catch it.
Oh man,
Tell us about it.
he's such a genuine guy. It was just great to hear him. He's so like grateful of getting into the Hall of Fame. He just talks like the guy next door, man. He's just like
See, Ron, they're so in their feels. S. Harris thinks you were talking about Tua. No, it was Skyler. He was saying that is getting faulted for throwing to the receivers. He was talking about Skyler.
And I'm gonna say something else too.
Wow.
Which I don't think is fair to the Skyler is that when Tua gets hurt and what have you, and Skyler has to step in there, The offense is already set and sort of how should I say in the theme of the way Tua plays. So for Scotty to step in there in some way, I'm not making an excuse for him, but it's hard for him to adjust, and it's hard for the offense to adjust to Skyler's way of playing or being the quarterback.
Listen, I should rescind that statement because
and I'm not saying this towards you now.
I should have expected Skyler to play.
One player throws for 329 yards, right? And the other player fumbles a football. Who do you blame for the loss?
The team.
That guy that fumbling the ball cost us that drive.
Just saying, I'm taking
a game-winning drive.
One guy throws for 329 yards. The other guy fumbles a football.
Yeah. No, I hear you, Culler.
Who's responsible for the loss?
The guy who fumbled the ball.
Yet, I hear nothing but we win that game if Teddy's not the quarterback. If Tua plays that game.
I said earlier that if Waddle would fumble that ball, we would have won that game.
Right. If Waddle doesn't fumble that football, then guess what? It's not hard to understand why tinfoil hat people say he dropped it on purpose.
Right. Exactly.
Don't even hear what they're saying when they say Tua would have won us the Minnesota game. Well, then you're basically saying that Waddle dropped that or fumbled that ball on purpose.
That's ridiculous.
Exactly. That's what they're saying. Indirectly. That's
and
what
they
they're saying.
probably believe that, Crypto. And they're probably fine with it.
Well, then they're not done.
Yeah, kind of like those knuckleheads that was glad that freaking Sanders missed a field goal. Yeah, that
because the
crowd.
Ball spin is different coming from a lefty. I'm sorry. I don't care if the ball is wobbling like a duck. I can catch it.
That's right. You catch punts, don't you?
Exactly.
What's up, Q?
Matter of fact, I think wide receivers should be on punt duty to
How you
learn
doing,
how
sir?
to better watch the ball all the way in. Go
How
ahead.
you doing, my brother?
Been good, just busy, man.
What's up,
What's up, Ron?
Been a
What's up,
while,
everybody?
Q. How you been, man?
What's going on, Q?
What's up, Culler?
We cutting
Not
deep
much,
into
just
cheap
came up.
money time right now, so I'm probably going to end it here shortly. But I wanted to say hi
Oh,
to you
yeah,
and give
for
you
sure,
a
for
chance
sure,
to speak.
for sure. No, just
How you been,
came
man?
up to
How's
say
the
what's up.
weather out there?
Hey, it's hot and shit, bro. Hot as
I
shit,
know.
bro.
Dry though, right?
Yeah.
Don't you guys kind of drier
Yeah.
than we are, right?
No, humid. It's humid, hot and humid.
You do
they
get
got a
humid
humid
there? All
climate.
right, all
Yeah.
right.
And I think, man, when these wide receivers do get knocked off their route for a second or two, I don't think they work their way. They work hard enough to get back to quarterback friendly, to get open for Tua or Skyler for that matter.
You're right.
Yeah, that receiver got to go, Fred.
We have no
You
comeback
can't-
drill.
Once their route is broken, they're just out in free, just out in no man's land there, man. Just looking to see what Tua's going to do, not working.
And when their route is done, they stop and stand there and twiddle their thumbs. There's literally no
Exactly.
comeback
There you
drill.
go. There you go.
And that's why you bring a player like a Tyreek Hill, you pair him up with a player like a Waddle, because those are the guys that are dangerous in space. They're
Right,
you
but
know
I'm-
those
what I'm-
that
That's
type
true,
of
but
figure
what
they
I'm
got.
saying, Q, is none of them are doing it.
That's why you got to
Like what Sherfield said, everybody blames Sherfield, but he wasn't lying. The film literally shows them standing there doing nothing after they complete their route.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I agree. What he said about Tua's going to throw the ball regardless if you're there or not. It's a timing thing. I agree with that. That was the game plan. That was the game plan last season. And you seen it. You watch the film. You see it. Sometimes that's why he overthrows. Sometimes he overthrows because he's anticipating. He's anticipating the receiver to get there.
But that's what I was saying
Yes,
earlier.
but that's play
50%
design.
of the time, the defense is going to disrupt that.
Yeah.
On that 50% of those plays, we have no comeback.
Exactly.
drills.
No doubt. No doubt, Colin. I agree. I agree 100%. Over time, especially with the success that the Miami offense has been getting, from the beginning of the season, teams are going to look at you and think, you know what, we got to figure out a way to stop them because they've been electrifying this entire time. So, and that's what they did. Teams started looking at the film, try to figure out, the tendencies, and they found that tendency right there is that Miami likes to work in the middle of the field, and that right there, I put up, those 4 losses, I put it on Tua, I also put it on McDaniel, I also put it on the defense, basically everybody, and the wins, I'll put it on the team. If the team win, then it's a team win. I'm not going to say, 2-1. No, I'm not going to say that. It's a team win. Those losses, I'll put it on McDaniel because the dude was stubborn, bro. He knew they were that's what, there was dropping people down back to the middle of the field to stop Tyreek and he still kept on going with it.
Make the adjustment.
And my knock on Tua is, which is why, shout out.
Start throwing it on the boundary with
let him land. Go ahead.
All right.
My knock on Tua is, which is what, like, man, shout out to EM, man, is his off script play. If when I know the game plan is, try to hit it, try to hit it, on stride, try to anticipate what those receivers are getting there. But when it comes to off script play, when things don't go your way, that's when, as a quarterback, right, on you to think of a way to create opportunities for your.
That's precisely what I've been saying for months, bro. Like, that's my problem with Tua. Seriously, bro. Like, that's the point. When I hear
but come on,
no comeback,
come on.
How is Tua supposed to do any of that if our wide receivers ain't coming back to help?
Right.
That's
no doubt.
Thing I see too with them too is that once you throw them out their route, it's like they hanging out there.
That's called doing what Brett Favre do: draw a play up in the dirt and improvise.
He's got to recognize
that. To your quarterback.
Okay.
But see, the thing is, those types of.
Are you guys going to presume to tell me that Wes Welker ain't doing his job?
Look, I'm gonna say,
he's definitely doing his job.
I'm gonna say,
no, Wes doing his job for real. He's doing his job.
Well, Wes understands fundamentals just as well as I do, and when I go out to run a 10-yard slant and it's all over with, and I don't get the ball, I come back to the quarterback.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
It's fundamentals, bro.
Hey, Culler. You know what?
Goes back years.
I'm gonna ease up,
or not even come back, Culler, or just find the space. Find the space where you can that little bubble.
Matter of fact, this is interesting that you say that because it isn't just come back; it is other things. But it reminds me of a time where I actually caught a touchdown in the back of the end zone, and when I got to the sideline, my whole team's patting me on the back. We're all celebrating. I get to the sideline, and the coach tells me, "Yo, when the route's over and you're there, and
keep working.
He's like, yo, you needed to like slide on the baseline, work it, and all that, because I was just standing there waiting for the ball.
Keep working. Yeah. And you know what?
Even though I caught a touchdown on the damn play, my coach is still telling me, bro, you should have been working the back line, working the baseline. You know what I mean?
Listen. Listen. I was going to use this simplest example. Simple example because I play chess. If a man keeps putting his bishops and knights on the same square, it's up to the opposing chess player who has mastery over the board to figure out how to take those two pieces off the board that's causing you trouble. Just like in a San Diego game, if the quarterback has mastery of the playbook, hence the other player keep putting his freaking chess pieces in the same square, it's your job as a master chess player to learn how to take those pieces off the board. So Tua needs to learn how to master the playbook if McDaniel fails. It's his job to have mastery over the freaking playbook.
If McDaniel is out there coaching to say, hey, we're not doing that, that's up to Tua to say, fuck you, coach. I'm telling my wide receivers to come back.
Yeah.
Right,
and
exactly.
That's where Tua has to be that dude, man. Like,
maybe not to that extreme, but
y'all stop giving up on the fucking play.
Yeah, I was
maybe not to that extreme, but maybe like maybe tell his receivers. Yeah. But another thing, I remember a time when Wes was the main guy. Why? Because every time he sees Tom Brady, you know, the pocket collapse and Tom Brady's is scrambling. He knows Tom Brady ain't much of a scrambler. So he, in his mind, I gotta help my quarterback. Find that space. Make sure he sees me, you know, and then allow him to make a play.
Yeah, Wes Welker was good at that, and there was another guy that was a wide receiver with New England. He did the same thing. He was
Edelman do it all the time, man. Edelman is the king of it.
Yep. Just find an open spot and a throwing lane.
So I'm apologize to Tua some, man. You know, I'm gonna give him some more leeway because it never.
You don't need to do that, Fred.
It never.
You don't need to do that.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but you know these wide receivers aren't doing that. They're giving up on the plays, so it's that much harder for Tua. Okay, at
the end of the day, Fred, it's a team. At the end of the day, it's a team. They all got to work together. They all got to play off each other.
It reminds me of when he's on his ass in Tennessee and all the players are walking by him. And only one man reached down to pick him up off the ground.
Yeah, was
who's that again? I forget who was that.
Jesse Davis, buddy.
Jesse Davis. Jesse Davis. Hey, I'm hearing you playing good right now. He playing good right now.
That's what I said, man. Jesse Davis quarterback.
The Texans just traded for him from the Vikings, and you got to remember that the Vikings are actually a pretty good developmental squad when it comes to offensive linemen. It was probably a good exercise to go to Minnesota for a year.
Because you know
that's thanks to the late great Tony Sperano who built that program. They got up that churns out the offensive line.
Hey,
I watched Jesse in.
Just to that offensive line guru. Let's see if that helps.
That's where we got Michael Dieter from.
From who?
Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he came out. He came out of the same school. All
right, guys.
Wisconsin.
We can't steal all the thunder. Shake's got a good show going on. Everybody get over to Larry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take some love. He's got TD on tonight.
Oh, okay. Cool. We're gonna.
I'm gonna forego.
Hey, Culler. I just Culler.
I'm gonna give.
I'm gonna
go. You ain't been the whole show.
Yeah, I'm gonna head over there.
I just want to say real quick. That you were announcing you're gonna have a show where you're gonna make arguments for Tua. I'm gonna say, bro, I can't wait for this. So I am gonna come at you the way you come at us.
Oh, okay. So if Big Nick don't take the invite, you're invited, Q. If you wanna see man
yeah. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there.
It's going to be some
everybody. I'm gonna forego final thoughts just because I'm tired and I don't have to do it.
I'm gonna head out. No final thoughts here. Finish up.
All
right.
Everybody, make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing, hit the notification bell. Thanks, Q.
Hey,
buy this freaking flag. Buy all our other stuff. Hit the link in the description below for Fanatics. Okay. That'll let them know we sent you. You can get all your officially licensed gear from the NFL, NHL, NBA, MLS, MLB, any three letters you can think of. They've got it all. Make sure you're hitting up Doobie for your energy products, energy drinks, all that great stuff. And of course, make sure you're getting merch from us because it's cool merch and it's the best there is. So, by the way, you're going to have a cone. Oh, I can't even say nothing. Dang it. Just stay tuned. Everybody make sure that you've got that notification bell going. Follow us all on our socials, Twitter, all that stuff, because we got big things coming. We are just chomping at the bit to announce what we got coming out. It's there. It's already there. It's just, we can't say nothing about it because we're putting the finishing touches on everything. So make sure you're continuing to support the channel. Hit super chats, hit super stickers, memberships, $, Fins Tailgate, the Fins Tailgate at Cash App, the Fins Tailgate on Venmo. You know the deal. You know it all. But mainly, like it, share it, subscribe, and keep your dang fins up, people.
So I didn't like that to it now.
Color outtakes for everyone to flip.